college football with your BFF while taking Buster to the vet.
Hey, yeah, I can't believe he ate the whole thing of chicken wings.
And I can't believe we're staging a comeback. Touchdown! Yes!
Staying connected matters. That's why in the rare event of a network outage, you'll automatically get a bill credit for a full day's service. For wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers, must be connected to impacted tower at onset of outage. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for full details.
This holiday season, imagine a home that feels safer, cozier, and truly yours. Hey, I'm Brad Nortman, and I know how much it means when your home finally works the way you've always hoped. Lifetime Home Services helps families create that comfort, from cleaner air and radon safety to organized closets and smart home automation. It's all about making your home feel better every day. Mention this ad during your consultation for 10% off, plus earn credits towards future home projects with our end-of-the-year special. Start creating a home that feels good to live in at lifetimehomeservices.com.
Hey football fans, get ready for kickoff with homemade party must-haves this week at Sendik's. Start with delicious dips, guacamole, pico de gallo, potato chips, and popcorn. Score big with over 20 varieties of homemade sausage and gourmet burgers. Then, stop by Sendik's Deli for homemade salads, side dishes, and even pinza pizzas. All made from scratch every day. Sendik's, your trusted local
You're
grocer.
listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI-HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
This is the oldest rivalry in football. For a long time, it's mostly been tradition, history, and reminders of better days in Chicago. This week, it finally matters again. The 9-4-1 Green Bay Packers.
Watson with the speed. Christian Watson in a foot race, and he's going to win it. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Visit the 10-4 Chicago Bears.
Play fake. Williams looking, throwing. It is caught. Touchdown.
Saturday Night Football at Soldier Field. 3 games left and a division title hanging in the frozen air. Chicago thinks this is their moment. First place, a little confidence, and a rivalry that suddenly feels real again for the first time since 2013. But history has a way of reminding you who you are. Jordan Love, well, he's undefeated when he plays a complete game against the Bears, 4-0.
The speedy rookie, Love, loading up, going deep, down the field, has a man, it's caught, touchdown, Bo Melton.
Matt LaFleur, 12 wins, 1 loss.
Right on cue, Joe.
The Packers already won the first meeting just 2 weeks ago.
Williams looking, throwing, it is intercepted! Keyshawn Nixon and the Packers will win it!
And now, with December winding down, the margin is thinner, the stakes are heavier, and every snap feels just a little bit louder. Experience versus belief, history versus hope. Saturday night, the NFC North decides who leads the way as we approach January. Packers, Bears. The North is on the line.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Now broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Here's Alex Strouf.
Game Day, live from Chicago. It is Saturday night. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champion Bryan Bulaga, John Anderson with you. Well done by our birthday boy, executive producer Will Summers on the open there. This is a fun one, man. Once again, for the second time in 3 weeks, the winner of this game will be in sole possession of first place in the NFC North, which is very, very good. Very, very exciting. And a lot on the line today as the Packers play their first game without Micah Parsons after he tears his ACL last week in Denver. Uh-oh, John's already giving me that look. I had to bring it up, John. Sorry.
He's going to make the sob story. Have you never seen NFL? The next guy's got to play. Like if we get bogged down in, oh my gosh, Micah Parsons can't play, you might as well stay in the damn locker room.
I don't know that I'm bogged down because I have, and I've said this multiple times this week, like if there's anybody in the organization in Green Bay that I have faith in to figure it out, I think it's Jeff Hafley. I have a ton of confidence in him down the stretch, even without Micah Parsons.
I would just say in the coaching staff in general.
Sure.
I think Matt LaFleur's done his best work when his back's been against the wall, whether that's been when Devontae Adams missed games back in the Aaron Rodgers era of Matt LaFleur, or even just looking at last year. Put together a hell of a game plan in the games that Jordan Love ended up missing after injuring his knee in the opening game against Philly down in Brazil. So I think this coaching staff, and you mentioned this, the confidence you have in Jeff Hafley, I think this coaching staff as a whole is just, they operate pretty well when their backs are against the wall.
It's a good point by you. Good point by you. But I'm curious from the as John just alluded to, it is next man up. What is this situation like for the guys in the locker room on a short week as they get ready to head to Chicago?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly was probably in their minds on Monday, maybe a little bit Tuesday, but once you get going and the install goes in and you start game planning and you take the field and you have to start understanding roles and responsibilities and who's going to be stepping in and who's going to be tasked with trying to fill some of that production, right? You have to sit there and look at it, and no one feels sorry for us. Micah's not coming back to save us. It's not like we have to hold off for a week and he'll come back next week and it's going to be okay. That's not the case. So, like, it's got to be you feel bad and it sucks. One of your most dynamic players that's ever been in Green Bay is gone for the year. We understand that. But you got to move on. You got to go play. Like the games, it's the next three are coming thick and fast. And this one isn't. This is about as important as it gets. So if you're going to feel sorry for yourself, kind of like John said, raise your hand and say, I don't think I can take that responsibility. Or you have guys that played last year. This defense was good last year. I'm not trying to say they're better without Micah. I'm not saying that. Certainly don't put me on record saying that. But they understand how this defense is supposed to be played. They understand their responsibilities. And you look no further than training camp to start how they were performing in training camp to get an idea of how this thing needs to look. Yeah. And that's what they have to lean back on. And it's going to be a group effort. It's a group effort. You can't just rely on Micah to create the pressure and the kind of the mayhem that he does play after play. It's got to be a group effort going forward.
No, you're totally right about that. I'm looking forward to Jason Wilde, who will join us in the 5 o'clock hour from Soldier Field. He is in Chicago today. He will join us from Soldier Field beginning at 5 o'clock in the Jason Wilde hour. But his lead game day story over at channel3000.com is how they're, quote-unquote, dusting off the old playbook, because all preseason, as Brian just alluded to, all training camp, there was no Micah. They didn't know that Micah was going to be a part of this defense. There was a Kenny Clark. There was a Devontae Wyatt. There was an Evan Williams. But there was no Micah. So it's not like they haven't done this before, even this season, dating back to the preseason. So that at least can give you a little bit of hope as guys like Rashan Gary, Lucas Van Ness, Kingsley Enagbare, and Brenton Cox Jr., who was activated from IR, look to wreak some havoc on the outside. But no Micah. Little scary for this defense going forward, but as you just talked about, Gabe, I do have faith in this coaching staff to make adjustments and figure something out. Yeah, and if just kind of taking a look at what the Bears like to do, they want to get Caleb Williams outside the pocket. That's by design. And trying to come up with a solution to that is going to be a challenge. Because how many times a couple of weeks ago did we see Micah Parsons be able to get out there, chase him down? Didn't lead to sacks, but it led to getting him to him getting rid of the football. And we know he wants to be able to hold on to that football to try to make those plays off schedule. It's what he's so good at. It's one of the skills that Caleb Williams possesses. So that's going to be something the Packers are going to have to come up with a different answer for, because before it was, oh, this guy's probably the most athletic freak on the field. He'll figure it out, to now you have to schematically figure that one out a little bit more. John Anderson, I want to go to you because this is something we talked about during the home version of this game 13 days ago. But it's just rare that there's meaningful football played in this rivalry in December. It's been a really long time, 12 years to be exact, the last meaningful football game that these two teams played in December. They've got two this year. This is fun, right? You enjoy the fact that this is fun again?
Yeah, I like that they match up with this, right? Because they've gone through streaks, too, where very rarely have they both been good at the same time. Right. You go back and look at the series dominance, right? The 80s Bears were plowed Green Bay to the point you thought it would be hopeless that they'd ever catch up in the the all-time series. And then, the Favre turn on that thing, and now it's been literally 30 years the other way, how this has gone. So, yeah, I enjoy that both these teams are good. I know that gets me in trouble with some people. I just think it makes it more entertaining. I realize there's stuff at stake. One thing about this game, though, is it seems with very few exceptions, I think of one time the Bears won like 63-7 or something in a meaningless game. They've always managed to hang around, even under. Think about the last 3 games they've played, even under Eberflus. Every one of them came down. I would like the game to not come down and be in the Bears' hands at the end. The Bears had the ball with a chance in the last game. Thank you, Keyshawn Nixon. They have the ball in their hand. They kick it through, and Lambeau win. They got a field goal to win against the Packers in Chicago, block. I would just like to let's see if we could get this thing down so we do not have to stick around for the last possession. Because that seems to, regardless of who's playing or when recently, the Packers have managed to come out on top more often than not, obviously. But there have been some weird things that have happened that have kept the Packers with more points at the end of the game.
You hosted SportsCenter for 25 years, from June 1999 to June 2024, when you retired from ESPN, John. And there was 54 matchups between these two teams, the Bears and the Packers, that you got to talk about the highlights on SportsCenter. The Packers went 40-14 in your career on SportsCenter.
That's crazy.
40-14.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what they were in my childhood.
Probably the opposite, right?
Not so much. Like my childhood, no, they were both terrible, if you recall. Maybe the Bears slightly better, but I don't recall really at any point the David Whitehurst or Lynn Dickey against Vince Evans or Bob Avellini captured anybody's attention. I don't know that when they speak of when none of those, they didn't write poems about any of those games. There are no odes that were written to those games. So it comes through. It's much better. And I am not the crank here about the Micah thing, but you look at this, right? It's just like Christian Watson. Yeah. It's nice to have him, but how often have they faced the Bears without Christian Watson? Right? Like it's just, and I don't want to get too far off over my ski tips or out of my area because with Brian sitting here and he's played that, I just know that in anything, I've been in enough athletics and around enough teams that, like, man, the second you start feeling sorry for yourself, right? Like you just get run over. And especially that nobody on the other side feels sorry for anybody. And so do they have as good of players? No, but they put together a team right now that's essentially a team that got into the playoffs. And actually where you guys show great faith in Hafley, right here, I feel like Hafley has to show me something. Like this is the game where he gets paid.
Yeah,
this is the game where he earns his keep right here.
I agree with that. I think he's going to be a candidate for a head coaching job regardless of what happens over the course of the rest of the season, to be real honest with you. But you're right. I mean, if he is the defensive coordinator, we think he is. This is the game in which he does that. Brian, I want to give you the opportunity to speak on what John was just referring to. I thought that was a good line by John. When you start doubting yourself or you start feeling sorry for yourself, that's when it kind of ends. I imagine being the former pro you are. Very true statement from John Anderson.
No, absolutely. I mean, the self-doubt is the thing that'll get you first. Before you even take a snap or a play happens, if there's self-doubt going out in that field, right? Because the minute there's self-doubt and you go onto the field and one bad thing happens, it just starts tanking, right? You already go in there, kind of feeling sorry for yourself. You don't think it's possible, and then something doesn't go your way, and then that's just the snowball effect, right? It just continues on and on and on, and then there's an excuse for it, and nobody cares. Honestly, I mean, the team you're playing does not care. They just don't. So the thing would be getting this defense, obviously, early in this, in this week of preparing for the Bears, just getting their minds right? Having Hafley, probably the mental gymnastics he did a little bit, getting guys' confidence was probably the biggest thing, right? It's not like they don't understand the defense, right? It's not like he's going to be installing a brand new scheme. That's not going to be the case. It's giving guys confidence that they can go out and execute the game plan, right? And without Micah being there, that's really the biggest thing is getting these guys confident that they can go out there and achieve what they need to do to help the team win. And that to me is, you talk about earning his keep, and these coaches, they slave over these game plans, right? Like they're there all night. Like, I mean, they'll be there till 1 a.m, and on short weeks it's probably just that. But the biggest thing they're doing is they're playing psychologists for these guys, right? And when there's major injuries like this, they're trying to make sure guys are in the right head frame, that they can go and do their job and do it at a high level. No doubt. There's trying to get no doubt in these guys' minds that they're the right guy to go out there and do it. So to me, that we'll see if that's if they were successful in that this week, because like putting together some super duper game plan that's gonna win a game. I mean, okay, yes, there's X's and O's involved. Sure. I get it. And like keeping Caleb Williams in the pocket, yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, you're talking about rush lanes and rush discipline and things like that. And you can get away with that with Micah, because Micah will track down the quarterback looping back around. Like Micah will do that. Well, we don't really have guys there right now that have that closing speed of Micah. So now they're
in fairness, nobody does, because Mike is a lot of the times the fastest guy in the field, which is insane.
And rush lane discipline, how you're going to maintain the edge.
Oh, we're getting a little bit of a connection issue with Bryan, so I'm just going to read him this compliment while we attempt to reconnect. From Chris on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. Bulaga, you are the man. And I agree with that up until the connection issues return his fault. Oh, now we got him back.
That's not his fault. That's the connection. I mean, he's not the one who installed the
I agree that
internet.
he is the man. I agree. I'm not disagreeing.
You said until the internet connection. It's not his fault.
He didn't install the internet, he says. You don't know that. You don't know what Bryan's capable of. Hey, Tito's America's favorite vodka for a reason, distilled 6 times till it's just right. Tito's known for great vodka, giving back, and doing good for dogs. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly. On the Carbless Talk, it's X-Line 800-990-3776. Dick in downtown says, I have boots on the ground in Soldier Field. This place is scared. I like to hear that. 10 Packers questionable for this one against the Bears. A 7:20 kickoff tonight at the aforementioned Soldier Field. We'll dive into the injury report, what that looks like, and what the Packers could look like with or without several key pieces. That's coming up next. It's Green Bay Game Day on ESPN Wisconsin, 620 WTMJ.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Is back pain slowing you down? The OAW Spine Center offers specialized care with advanced treatments for herniated discs, spinal fusion, and more. Their board-certified orthopedic care specialists use the least invasive methods, starting with non-surgical options. If surgery is needed, they provide minimally invasive procedures. The OAW Spine Specialists focus on getting you back to an active lifestyle faster. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit OAWSpineCenter.com.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Experience the excellence of Catholic Memorial High School for yourself. Come see how students gain a competitive edge at CMH. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule a VIP tour or Student Shadow Day. Meet the inspiring teachers, welcoming students, and feel the energy of the CMH culture, where all students achieve more than they ever imagined possible. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule your visit. That's CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School in Waukesha, where you rise.
It's the holiday season, the best time of the year for sports. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, it's all happening at once. Hey, it's Mark Tauscher with ESPN Wisconsin, and there's one place where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks. It's the simplest way to play daily fantasy. Make your player picks in less than 60 seconds. Just choose more or less on at least 2 player stats. You get them right, you can cash in. And new this season, early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you might be able to cash out before the game even ends. And with stacks, you could pick the same player up to 3 times in one lineup, like more on Giannis's rebounds, points, threes, assists. You can only do that on Prize Picks. Deposits are fast and easy with Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
The president of James Imaging Systems, Tom Tegeter.
As I reflect on the 2025 performance of the James Imaging Systems team, I'm inspired by their power of action, reliable follow-through, and ability to consistently connect with our clients. So thank you for helping our clients grow, profit, and thrive. In addition, I'm humbled by the trust our clients place in the James Imaging Systems expertise to help them succeed, now and in the years to come. As your local business technology partner, I extend my appreciation and gratitude for your ongoing loyalty. Looking forward, I feel that as individuals and as a community, if we display the power of positive action and authentically strive to find common ground, then our local communities will be stronger and our family connections will be secure and enduring. To everyone, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and God bless America.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Here's a dose of reality. Driving under the influence of prescription painkillers is just as illegal and just as deadly as driving drunk. In fact, there are nearly 2,000 drug-related crashes every year in Wisconsin. Help prevent drug driving, and let's achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Driving on pills kills. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Departments of Health Services, Transportation, and Justice.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. I'm Alex Strouf. He is Gabe Neitzel with us until 6 o'clock ahead of, who does Marquette play today? Creighton?
Creighton.
You got a busy
Down
day
in
today.
Nebraska.
So you're doing 2 hours with us, and then you're going to do pregame, halftime on the Marquette Radio Network, which you can hear on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, across a couple other affiliates across the state. But I imagine many of us, if you are joining us on Green Bay Game Day, are going to be paying attention to Packers and Bears. How are you going to split your time? Are you going to be watching both? Like, how's that going to work?
That's the beautiful thing about being at the official road game watch party for Marquette at Buffalo Wild Wings in West Dallas. A lot of TVs there, Strouf.
There is a lot of TVs at the Buffalo Wild Wings. No doubt about that. I've noticed something about working with John Anderson the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Anytime anybody takes a shot at me, he laughs. It's the hardest he laughs on this show.
Well, I do think it is humorous. I was unaware where the broadcast originated from, but it is anymore. You can do all kinds of things to watch. Picture-in-picture was invented 40 years ago. Mm-hmm. I feel like you can keep trying a couple of things is all I'm saying, right? I tell people why do you think people are paying billions of dollars for rights fees? Because it's the one thing you cannot time shift because you can see it all the time, right? Like, it's even when you tell your friends, I'm not going to be able to see the Packer game, don't tell me anything, right? In 4 minutes, you know when they've scored.
Yeah, that's true.
It's impossible, but that's cool. Hopefully, Gabe, you can fight through and manage technology and figure out a way to see something that's happening.
You guys are jerks.
Lord.
You guys are jerks.
It's a moon landing. He's going to try to watch the games.
8.5 minutes to go, first quarter. Commanders lead the Eagles 3-0 early in this early Saturday game as they just convert a third down to keep the ball moving. They lead 3-0 over the reigning Super Bowl champion Eagles. All right, let's talk about this. 10 Packers. 10 are listed as questionable entering tonight's game in Chicago. I'm going to run through the list. And also, before I run through the list, Brian, I might have just missed this. Has it always been a thing where if you're fighting multiple injuries, they list multiple injuries on the injury report? Because there's multiple Packers with multiple injuries.
I think that's been a more recent thing where they list all of them now. Because back, it would just be one thing. Like, you could have a bunch of things going on, but I think the rules have evolved of what you have to report on the
Sure.
injury list these days. I think
that makes sense.
But normally it's just been like a knee or shoulder or back, and now there's like knee, hip, ankle. It's
Well,
like
I was going to say, man, like you played offensive line. So by week 16, which is the week we're in, you probably had what? A knee, a back, a shoulder.
Just the injury, it's underneath
The
injury,
body.
it just says yes.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, questionable. Yes, I mean, you could just start putting that like at week 6 is just questionable for everybody. I mean, if you want to cover your basis, you might as well just do that.
Well,
because
and that's
essentially what it is.
Yeah, that's what it kind of seems like Matt LaFleur does more than most coaches, and maybe he wants to avoid the $100,000 fine the Ravens had earlier this year when they did what could have been interpreted as misleading, and the NFL just decided was stupidity, and still fined him $100,000. Didn't take away any draft picks for what they were doing with Lamar Jackson earlier this year. So it feels like the Packers are like, all right, if you stubbed your toe last night, we're putting you on the injury report.
All right, I'm going to run through the list.
I believe Tom Brady is still on the injury report with a bad shoulder.
That
he's been 1 5 years.
Yep.
Good pop. Good
Remember
pop.
that he had like 212 straight weeks or whatever it was with an injury on the right shoulder. Oh,
makes sense. All right, here's the list. Gabe, I'm going to give you the opportunity. If you at any point want to cut me off as I run through this list and make a comment,
okay,
just put your hand up and I will stop.
Okay.
We start with Josh Jacobs, who has a knee and ankle injury. Hand is up.
Okay, we'll stop there. So this is what I really want to talk to Rob about, because apparently he went on our sister station, ESPN 1000 down in Chicago, and told Carmen and Yurko in the middle of the day yesterday that he believes that Jacobs is more doubtful than questionable, which is concerning.
Great.
So I really want to talk to Rob about that. Although they didn't make any moves yesterday. The running back that they've been bringing up from the practice squad was out of options to come up, so they would have had to make him an official member of the 53-man roster. I know Chris Brooks is going to be coming up on this list as well, but they would have made some sort of move to shore up the running back position, though, if Josh Jacobs wasn't going to play. So I wonder if something changed between Rob yesterday going on Carmen and Yurko, and then how the Packers kind of felt by the afternoon.
I already know you're going to put your hand up for this next name. So, John, Bryan, if you want to jump in on this next one. Christian Watson is listed as questionable with a chest and shoulder injury. That was a weird one last week.
Yeah, but it seems like he's going to play.
Yes.
Which is good. Packers offense is better on the field.
Dead.
Yeah, I thought he was dead too.
He was dead. I'm like, get a sling. Get a sling. He's done. Crazy that he's going to come back.
It looked so similar, Blue, to when Charles Woodson tore his shoulder up in the Super Bowl in 2010.
Yeah.
The way he kind of landed on his arm, and then the way the arm just kind of jammed up into the shoulder.
Yeah, I thought it was collarbone. Right when he landed, I thought it was AC joint or collarbone, but hey, glad it's not.
Yeah, so I agree. That was the initial thought for me. And then it was designated as a chest injury. And I'm no doctor, and I'm aware the collarbone is connected to the chest. But it's typically listed as a shoulder injury when you hurt a collarbone. That's just typically what the designation is. That's what it was for Jaden Reed earlier in the year. So when it was designated as a chest injury, I went, strange. And then the report comes out that he was in a Denver hospital checking if his lung got popped effectively. And luckily he was able to fly home with the team, and sounds like he's going to play today for Green Bay. Zack Tom is next on this list. Back knee.
Yeah, I'm worried about that one a little bit.
I don't think he's
I'm
playing.
worried about that one.
Doesn't seem like he's going to play.
Could I argue that is the most, on offense, that's the most crucial of the questionables?
I was going to.
I would push back, John, because this week, the Bears do have, one guy that can get after the quarterback, but one of the weaknesses of this Bears defense is being able to generate pressure. If this was last week and you were going up against that pass rush, I would say, you want Zack Tom out there. But this week, I feel like Christian Watson is more important than Zack Tom.
Okay.
All right.
I mean,
I'm
not gonna disagree with that. I mean, I just always look at it if you're gonna beat pressure and you're gonna do things like that because they're gonna pressure. Blitz pickup is very important, and having tackles that understand when to squeeze, when not to squeeze, assignments, eyes, passing off stunts and twists. That to me, because that's what the Bears do a lot of, how they generate pressure is stunts, twists, and then add linebackers in over the top on it. So having a tackle that's able to pass things off on the road, it's going to be loud, communication. Like, that's my only, I guess that's my only, like, 2 cents on it. But, I mean, I think Kennard can play. Like, I think Kennard can play. I think he's able to. It's not like I'm severely worried that he's going to step in and like not be able to get the job done. I mean, yes, Sweat is good. Sweat's good, but he's a different body than what he saw last week.
Well, as you say that, Brian, real quick, the next name on this list is Darian Kennard with a neck injury.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be fine.
I hope so.
I think he'll be fine.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And now, when you guys were discussing, I'm glad John said the most important offensive questionable, because I would have disagreed, because I think this could be the most important questionable. Does not sound like he will go. And that is safety Evan Williams with the knee injury. He got injured in the same exact play as Micah Parsons. And good story from Jason Wilde over at channel3000.com this week. He had one trainer attend to him.
Where is everybody?
Where is everybody, he thought, because there was 12 trainers with Micah Parsons.
Yeah, well, money talks.
That'll humble you quick, right?
Yeah. He knows where he falls in the food chain.
Yeah, money talks, man.
Sure does.
That's the way it goes.
But it sounds like Evan Williams could be back by the end of the regular season, but he's dealing with some swelling. Doesn't sound like he'll go today, which, Gabe, I do want to talk to you about that a bit later in the show, about what they do in the defensive backfield without Evan Williams today when he's officially ruled out a bit later. Dontavian Wicks is questionable with an ankle injury. He sounds like he should go, but still kind of dealing with that injury. You mentioned Chris Brooks already, Gabe. He's dealing with the chest injury, so 2 running backs are questionable, Josh Jacobs and Chris Brooks.
Again, I feel like both of them are probably going to go, otherwise they would have made some sort of adjustment to the roster.
And the remaining 3 names on this list are all edge rushers. And it's not Micah Parsons I'm referring to. Kingsley Enagbare was added with an illness. He should go. Brenton Cox was reactivated from IR, but is still questionable with the groin injury he suffered back in week 1 against the Lions. And then Colin Oliver, the rookie mid-round pick, who was put on IR prior to the preseason with a hamstring injury, is also listed as questionable. He has not seen any game action, preseason or regular season, for the Packers in the NFL yet.
But Oliver was not activated to the roster yesterday, so he's not going to be eligible to play. He's not on the 53. Don't have to worry about Oliver.
Okay, so Kingsley Enagbare, Brenton Cox are the 2 you should keep an eye on, though. But it seems like Enagbare should go. Cox, I'm not really sure what to expect with him after he was activated yesterday.
Yeah, he was elevated. My guess is that he's going to be good to go.
Okay, right. I mean, it's good to get some help after you lose Micah Parsons. Some depth, at least, right? I mean, you're obviously going to see the lion's share of the snaps go to the top 3 in Rashan Gary, Lucas Van Ness, and Kingsley Enagbare, assuming he plays with the illness. But good to get some depth there after you lose a key piece like Micah Parsons.
And they've been bringing Van Ness along slowly because of the foot injury. It's not like he played, even after the injury, a ton of snaps last week after Micah Parsons went down.
I know I'm always hard on him, but I want to know how you can tell that we're bringing him along slowly. It feels like we've been bringing him along slowly for a long time.
Because he's not out there. I think he played 22 snaps. I think that's what the count was for him last week. I think it was 22. So
yeah, I know.
Well, there you have it.
Williams thing, I think, is damaging more in that because I don't know that he's terrific in pass coverage, but I like how he sticks his nose in there in the running game, and as much as the Bears want to run it, I think that Evan Williams becomes a key piece.
I think he's become my favorite Packer.
I'm curious to see what they do there, because if Evan Williams got hurt last year, Javon Bullard would have been the guy that slides over. But Bullard has just been the slot guy basically all season long. I don't know how much he's worked with the safeties at that specific position. So I don't know if they slide him back there, just go with Zane Anderson, what they do at the safety position. Because if you put Bullard back there, you could put Hobbs in the slot, because that's where he did most of his work when he was with the Raiders previous to coming to the Packers.
Yeah, but I don't think they've given up on Nate Hobbs by any means, but I don't think he's on the team next year. How's that for a line?
They haven't given up, but he's not going to be here.
They're going to give up. I don't know that they have yet.
Okay.
Someone's given up on him. I just don't know if they're in a position to make personnel decisions with the Green Bay Packers.
But he does have a microphone, and he can say it on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ. That we know for a fact. Hey, if you're heading up to Green Bay anytime soon, maybe next weekend for the Ravens game, make a quick stop at Higher Love Cannabis Company just over the border in Menominee, Michigan, less than an hour north of Green Bay. Award-winning, locally owned, organically grown, the best in the Midwest. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD for more information. Our buddy Rob Demovsky just arrived at Soldier Field. We will Talk with him live from Chicago coming up next. And we're going to give Gabe the first question because he's been itching to talk to him about Josh Jacobs. Gabe asks Rob Demovsky about Josh Jacobs. That's next on Green Bay Game Day.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse, followed by an evening of comedy in Club 4-1. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
One of the best things about the holidays is going home and spending time with family and friends. One of the worst things, getting there. Holiday travel can be tough, especially driving. If you or a loved one needs help after an accident this holiday season, we're here for you. Our top-notch team of experienced professionals is available 24/7. Be safe this holiday season. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Homer here for Window Nation's end of the year sale. It's cold here in Milwaukee, and if you've been thinking about new windows, it's good you waited, because during Window Nation's end of the year sale, get 50% off, plus you could get 0% interest for 5 years. On windows that stop the cold wintry drafts, seal out moisture, and so energy efficient, you'll save money on your utility bills. Installed in 1 day. Lifetime warranty and an 8+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Sale ends soon. Don't miss out on big savings. WindowNation.com to get started.
The NBA is happening Christmas Day. 5 games, 1 unforgettable lineup.
That's what Christmas is all about.
Buckets for breakfast, breakaways for dessert. It's the holiday tradition.
Christmas is our day.
With star power from across the globe.
The stars, they are going to be out.
The best gift, you don't even have to unwrap it.
We want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
NBA Christmas Day begins at noon Eastern on ABC and ESPN.
There are 12 months in the year.
12 hours on the clock.
12 signs of the zodiac.
12 days of Christmas.
12 apostles.
And 12 wow items at Kessler's.
And 12 wow items at Kessler's.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
One of the coolest wow items is only $48.
It's a paperclip chain made out of gold-plated sterling silver.
Very cool. And just $48.
We have wow tennis bracelets for just $1,998.
Wow 10-carat tennis necklaces.
Wow engagement rings.
A wow toggle heart bracelet.
And it's just $168.
Wow diamond pendants.
And a fantastic wow snowflake pendant in sterling silver.
With blue color-enhanced diamonds. Blue!
And it's just $163. Kessler's is the place to be for you and me.
And blue diamonds are you diamonds.
The thing is wow. The time is now.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you and our holiday hours, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some exciting news from my friends at Bank 59. Not only have they been named a top workplace for 16 straight years, but they've just won the prestigious Community Choice Award as the best bank in the Milwaukee area. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Not only do they have great products and services, but they truly live out their mission to make lives better. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check out the best. Visit bank59.com to learn more today. Member FDIC.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Welcome back to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Joining us now from Soldier Field in Chicago is the bold, the bald, the beautiful ESPN NFL Nation reporter Rob Demovsky. Typically, I ask the first question. Not the case today. Gabe Neitzel, the floor is yours as we welcome in Rob Demovsky.
Hey, what's going on, Rob? How are you today?
I'm good, Gabe. How are you?
Well, I think it's going to depend upon how you answer this question, bud, if I'm being real honest. So
let me guess. You want to know if Josh Jacobs
correct,
is playing?
yeah. So you went on Carmen and Yurko yesterday, and you said he was doubtful more than questionable?
Well, that was my that thing took on a life of its own. I said if I had to guess, he was closer to doubtful than questionable. And then, of course, these internet idiots just, Rob Demovsky's reporting that Josh Jacobs is doubtful. No.
Well, no,
I
saw the report that you'd said doubtful more than questionable. And obviously, well, because like Christian Watson, I felt was more probable than questionable. So I guess I understood the context in which you were delivering it, because for the Packers, everybody's questionable. But it did bring up a little bit of concern that maybe the knee is a little worse than I anticipated.
Well, I'll start by saying I do not know whether he's playing or not. I just traffic was a little bad, just got into the stadium, haven't had a chance to talk to anybody. But I'm just going off of what I saw during the week. And, look, he didn't practice at all. And on, what day is today? Saturday. On Thursday, he still was limping through the locker room. That's the last day we had access to players. So it just, questionable can be different depending on the player. Like Christian Watson looked really good, practiced, talked like he was going to play. Josh Jacobs was limping around and said, I don't know if I'm going to play. Now, I can tell you this, Gabe, he's going to try because he's Josh Jacobs and he's tough. And he's only missed one game since he's been here in 2 years. But I'm sure they know by now. I just, unfortunately, have not been able to discern that information.
ESPN NFL Nation reporter covering the Packers, our buddy Rob Demovsky, is with us here on Green Bay Game Day. The Christian Watson situation, we were just discussing this, Rob, is fascinating, right? It looked like a collarbone or something bad in the shoulder, was designated as a chest. Then they thought it was a lung. He flies back with the team, and now it sounds like he's going to play. What a wicked week for him.
Yeah, and the only thing I saw him have on his shoulder was a little bit of that cryo tape or whatever you call it. Like it's supposed to, I think, just increase like blood flow or something. But like he looked totally fine. I mean, totally fine. And he was talking like there was absolutely zero doubt that he would play. So, I guess anytime, the Packers, anytime a guy doesn't finish the game, they're going to list him as questionable the next week. Like that's just the way they do it. So, but yeah, I mean, like, first you're right, collarbone. Then I thought, oh boy, did he puncture a lung? When you hear hospital, right? Yeah. Like, that's what you thought as well. They wanted to check and make sure he hadn't dislocated his ribs, which then could lead to a lung issue, and you don't want to have a lung issue at 35,000 feet in an airplane. So, but it's crazy because you thought, okay, boy, he's done for the year. What Parsons has done for the year, and obviously it turned out only one of those two things was correct.
John Anderson.
Well, you said you got there late. I want to know, are you in Arlington Heights or are you in Indiana?
Gary, Indiana?
Where the hell are you?
Yeah. Well, I drove to Arlington International Racecourse because I thought that's where the game was. But then I drove to Gary, thought that's where the game was, and I settled back on Soldier Field.
I know this is apart from the game.
They're not going to Indiana. They are not going to Indiana. But come on.
But I want to tap into your roots there. It's a little off game day for now, but just the thought on what's happening there with Chicago, because the idea of the Packers playing the Michigan City Bears or whatever, what a mess they've got there.
Yeah, and I mean, I grew up in Arlington Heights. I used to go to the racetrack when I was a kid. That is not a great location for an NFL stadium where there's going to be 70,000 people there. It's not. It would not be good. I just like the Chicago Park District owns Soldier Field, right? Which means the city of Chicago owns Soldier Field, and they've never handled it right. I mean, they don't handle the field right here. They didn't handle the rebuild right here when they renovated in, 2003 or whatever it was. It's just, they're going to end up playing somewhere in the city of Chicago, and it wouldn't surprise me if it's right near this location. It just makes too much sense. But then again, they don't seem to do the things that make sense, so who knows?
That's Chicago Bears 101. Go ahead, Brian.
Yep. Rob, how you doing, man?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Brian?
I'm great. Did you go anywhere good to eat last night? I always got to ask when you're in these big cities. I always got to ask.
So I had Giordano's pizza last night. Now I will say this: I am a Lou Malnati's guy through and through, but the Giordano's was close to the hotel, and so I figured, well, let's give it a shot, and I liked it. It's different though. It's like, they're both pizza, but it's like, if they're saying they're both steak, one's a tenderloin and one's a strip. Like they're a completely different type of thing. So I'm not going to say one's better than the other, but I enjoy Lou Malnati's better, but I'm glad I tried Giorgiano's.
Oh, it's good. I'm right there with you. I'm kind of a Lou Malnati's guy myself. I mean, that's just me. But regardless, so if Zack Tom can't go, which it kind of sounds that way, is Kennard going to be fine to play, or is his neck, is that severe too? I guess is my question.
Yeah, I don't know if his injury is an issue, but I sort of get the feeling that they might give Jordan Morgan a shot there, and I can't tell you why. I don't know why. We don't get to see 11 on 11, but just the way they were doing individual drills in practice, I don't know. It just made me. He was working at right tackle as best you can tell in individual drills, because they split up the line and they go 3 guys over here, 3 guys over there to get drill work done, twice at a time. But I mean, Jordan Morgan appeared to be playing right tackle in the drill. So I wonder if that's the way they're going, regardless of Darian Kennard's situation.
Oh.
Okay.
Or could it be a rotation? Which I mean,
please stop.
We've seen
God.
Stop. Pick one. Rob, pick one.
I mean,
read the rules.
Wow.
I would go with Kennard, but that's just me, and maybe they will. But I just something looked a little suspicious, I guess I will say, when it came to Jordan Morgan.
All right, we'll have to keep an eye on that. One of the players that I felt really stepped up last week, Rob, was Matthew Golden. And with Micah Parsons out, we know the defense is going to look different. Defense isn't going to be as good without Micah, and I think a lot of this falls on the offense. You're probably going to have to score a few more points and not let some opportunities slip through. Is he someone that can really, over these next 3 games, be someone that's featured the way they kind of started to ramp up Christian Watson once he came back?
Well, and you know what, Gabe, the quarterback brought him up in this sense this week. He said he probably hasn't gotten the ball as much as he thought he would, and we probably haven't gotten him the ball this season as much as we should have. So that tells me it's at least in the back of the mind of the quarterback, right? And like whether it's conscious or subconscious, the fact that he brought that up about the fact that he hasn't gotten the ball enough makes me think that, when the guy's going through his reads, maybe somewhere in the back of his mind, he has that trigger that, zero's open, let's get him the ball. So I think it would be a good way to go. I think it would be interesting. I think given what you said about, the types of games and the way they're going to have to win games, they can't have 3 and outs and then let the defense go on the field for 15 plays and then have another 3 and out and send the defense right back out there. So they do need to figure that out. And I think that, it didn't hurt them. It didn't cost them the game the last time around, but it did hurt them in terms of those quick 3 and outs followed by long Chicago drives.
Rob Demovsky is with us here on Green Bay Game Day. He is the ESPN NFL Nation reporter covering the Packers back in his old stomping grounds of Illinois. You tweeted this yesterday, Rob, that the Packers getting some pass rush help in defensive lineman Brenton Cox Jr., who was activated off injured reserve since his groin injury in Week 1 against Detroit. I assume that means, A, he's going to play, but B, how much workload do you expect for him as he makes his plays in his first football game since early September?
Yeah, he's been practicing for a couple of weeks, Alex, so I do think, he should be able to go. And look, those edge guys, especially a pass rush specialist, they don't play 50 snaps anyway, right? Like a guy who's a backup edge rusher. So I do think, he can handle his normal workload, which, I mean, what's the most snaps he's ever played? Probably 35 or 40, maybe. Yeah. And look, I mean, he's a fresh guy. He has shown in the past some ability to get to the quarterback. And I mean, he's been here for, is this 3 years now for a reason? Yeah, I mean, he's been here for a reason. They think he can play, and he has shown flashes of being able to play. So I think that's, I know he was hurt, but he's also fresh, if that makes sense. So assuming he's healthy and the groin injury doesn't bother him anymore, this is a guy who's, basically coming out of training camp ready to go for the start of the season because his season basically is starting now. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him make an impact today if he gets an opportunity, which I think he will.
Real quick before we go back to John Anderson, Lucas Van Ness, I think it was something like 22 snaps last week. Is he still kind of slowly working his way back?
Yeah, and I can tell you this, even after the last game, which he appeared to get through without having a setback, he was still in a boot after the game. So they're clearly still trying to keep, but it's preventative at this point. I mean, it's trying to make it so it doesn't get any worse. You can wear a boot and still play, but that just tells you that it's still there, right? Like that this is not something that has gone away and he's completely in the clear.
I have thoughts on that too, but I'm going to let him go because that's just going to sound like I'm piling on him. While I refuse to bemoan the loss of Micah Parsons, I'm curious if you have any insight on why he has not had surgery when Mahomes was on the table Sunday night.
Yeah.
Do we know what the thought is there?
Yeah, I mean, from what somebody told me, Mahomes has it's a bad one. Like there's more. I know they reported. Yeah, I know they reported ACL, LCL, but look, I've been around this thing long enough to know that when you do surgery right away, like either before you leave the city or as soon as you get back, there's some serious stuff going on. And the Packers typically don't do ACL surgeries right away. Brian, I'm assuming you waited till a few days to get yours. They like to either prehab it or let the swelling go down. And I don't know that he hasn't had it by the end of the week. He may have had it by the end of this week. I don't know that for sure. And I don't know who's doing it. But I think it's comparing apples to oranges there. I've never, ever heard of a guy with a standard ACL tear have it done the next day. There has to be something going on there.
Brian?
Yeah. My only experience was my second one. I did it. I mean, I tore it on, what was that? I think it was a Sunday game.
Family night.
Sunday.
Was it family? Oh, no. Family night was the first one?
Second one. Yeah, family night was the first one.
Yeah.
The second one, though, I think I might have bullied Doc McKenzie into it. But I told him, I told McKenzie, we're doing this on Wednesday. And he looked at me, he's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it on Wednesday. And I got it done on Wednesday, but I didn't have any swelling in mine. Mine was it was not bad at all. It was just the ACL and no swelling, but I might have bullied him into that a little bit. But besides
I don't think this is unusual. If he hasn't had the surgery yet, I don't think it's unusual. I think the Mahomes thing was way, way out of the norm.
Yeah, I've never heard of the day after. I could be honest.
It will be interesting it will be interesting since they both did it on the same day, just to follow their rehab and who gets back to practice first, and I mean literally the same day. So that'll be. This isn't the right word. It'll be fun to watch, not because it's fun that anybody got hurt, but it'll be an interesting thing to sort of study as we go through the off season.
Who's more of a freak athlete, Patrick Mahomes or Micah Parsons? That's next on Green Bay Game Day. Rob, we'll get you out of here on this. I asked you the same question 2 weeks ago, but it's fun to see this rivalry mean something at the end of December. What do you make of this one? Week 16, winner will be in sole possession of first place to the NFC North.
I'm going to rain on the parade a little bit here because even if the Bears win this game, I still don't think they win any of the next two games. The Packers can lose tonight and still win this division, and I think they probably will. Even if they lose tonight, they still will win this division because I think they will win their next two, and I think Chicago will lose their next two. But I don't want to take away from the fun of tonight because someone's going to walk out of here feeling really, really good about themselves, and I do think the winner is in a good position, but it's not the end position, and that's really all that matters.
I don't think you saying virtually you're guaranteeing the Packers win the division is raining on anybody's parade, Rob. I don't think that's what you just did. Rob, we appreciate the time as always. Enjoy Chicago. Enjoy the game tonight, and we'll be talking to you at least a little bit this week across our shows in ESPN Wisconsin. But I don't know that I'll talk to you. So Merry Christmas. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week.
You guys have a great holiday and enjoy.
He's the best. Rob Demovsky. Thanks, buddy. Now, we have to look at our hero of the game. Who's going to step up for the Packers? There's a lot of opportunity to do that today, man. As we roll through that injury report, who is going to step up? We will take a look at our network health hero of the game. That is coming up next on Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Put a little wow in your winter at the 31st Annual Lake Geneva Winterfest and America's Snow Sculpting Invitational, January 28th through February 1st. Watch 15 top teams create breathtaking masterpieces in snow right before your very eyes. Enjoy bonfires on the beach, a kids' play area, live entertainment, and a sparkling downtown ice sculpture walk. Plan your Winterfest getaway at visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva, where it's always been the place for winter magic.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
You've noticed a change in your teen. They seem distant, and you wonder if it's the usual ups and downs or something deeper, like substance use or mental health struggles. If you're worried, why wait to reach out? Hazelden Betty Ford offers specialized care for teens and young adults, plus support for families. Call 1-855-489-2383 or visit wegotyou.org, because love doesn't wait for a crisis, and change starts when you do. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
Football's back, and if you're headed up toward Green Bay, the perfect stop is Higher Love Cannabis Company, just seconds over the border in Menominee, Michigan. Less than an hour from Green Bay. An easy stop before or after the game or anytime you're passing through town. And with so many low-quality, unregulated CBD products floating around Wisconsin, trust matters. Higher Love, award-winning, organically grown, locally owned, and the real deal. Higher Love Cannabis Company, best in the Midwest. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD.
When you've thrown over 4,000 innings like I have, you know joint pain isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. For you, was it climbing ladders or too much heavy lifting? Hey, we're all in the same boat. But surgery, that was never my answer.
Baseball legend Roger Clemens knows there's a better way. That's QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No scalpels, no fake fixes, just real relief.
What I love about QC Kinetics, these are the most respected medical pros in the country that specialize in non-surgical therapies to get you moving again.
Don't mask the pain, fix it. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
I trusted QC Kinetics. You should too.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Hey sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' tastes. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivatebar.com to book today.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Yeah, it's Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, Bryan Bulaga. John Anderson is with us. He might be in the restroom or something. He's not at his desk right now, but he will be rejoining us in a moment.
It's happened to us all. All right, let's if we're being honest.
I would
you
say
were broadcasting long enough. You mistimed the break, and you're in the restroom a little too long.
Actually, he's eating something, so I'm not going to ask him what he's eating, but I will acknowledge he is eating something. Now, Gabe, I would just say you're backing him up because you are known for occasionally at the Tundra Trio getting into a conversation that lasts a little too long, and then you yell at me when I yell at you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, again, you could just let it go. Nobody knows. Just let it go. Open up the segment, people slide in, and then everything's smooth.
But Gabe, you know me better than that. You know me better than
just
that.
Just asking a little professionalism out of you.
What are we snacking on, John?
I have a banana. Potassium's crucial. Just before I came today, I had an 11-mile run. So I just wanted to get back into the legs, and that's all. There you go.
For those of you listening on the radio, you should see Bryan Bulaga's face when John Anderson said he went on an 11-mile run. I don't think we knew you were such a runner.
Yeah, and I hate it, but it's the only thing I can do well. So
are you
I
training for something?
Yeah, my daughter's college graduation. I want to be there in May.
Oh my God.
I want to be alive so I can see it.
Bravo. Questionable for May, but okay.
Bravo.
Good to know you're putting in the work to make sure you get
Dude,
there.
We're 6-0. You never know. Life comes at you fast.
Okay, so it is 1965. I don't know if you know this because I was looking at your Sports Center tenure on Wikipedia earlier when I referenced the Packers-Bears stat. It says you were born in 1964 or 1965.
Well, it was a long labor. No, it was just.
The Dodgers lost track of time. Who could say for sure?
Wow.
Which would sound funny if you were like it was New Year's Eve, but since it was actually in the middle of May, it doesn't hold as much weight. It was 1965.
John Anderson on fire. Time now for our Network Health Hero of the Game. Network Health honored to serve many veteran members, and they're also proud to count veterans among their employees because they're based right here in Wisconsin. They are able to develop health plans specifically with their veterans in mind. That is Network Health, and since he's on fire, we'll give him the rock right off the top. John Anderson, who needs to be the hero of the game for the Packers to secure a win and first place in the NFC North after tonight?
Well, my first thought was probably Nate Weir, the head athletic trainer. I feel like he's going to have to tape a lot of that stuff up. I don't know, get the cord all out, get the shots out. I don't know what we got going on, but that guy's going to be crucial. We use him all the time, and one of us always stumbles on to Jordan Love. But I just feel like with all the guys that are questionable, like he's the guy that's going to have to hold this thing together offensively. And if your defense is perhaps compromised with the loss of Micah Parsons, and you need 7 more points, I think he's going to have to be at his best, which is what we saw the first half of the game against Denver. Like if I could see that guy again for all 4 quarters, that would be outstanding. Which goes to a larger point, I think, and we can make this later, but the team has got to stay composed because I thought last week when things got sideways, they lost their minds. And so hopefully that's the first thing is that they keep their composure here during some adversity. But I feel like more than ever tonight, Jordan Love's kind of got to take the reins of this thing and get it home.
I like that pick a lot and good insight there from John Anderson. Let's go to the Super Bowl champion. Blue, who needs to be your Network Health hero of the game?
For me, I'm going to go with Rashan Gary, right? Like this is your time, right? Like this is it. Mike is not there. There's been a lot of talk about his production and this and that. And to me, this is his time to step up and make a real big impact. Whether that's sacks, whether that's pressure, whatever it may be, like this is the game that, hey, I mean, I know a lot of people say he's one of the highest paid DN. Like that's all great. Like that's fine, whatever. But it's about like Micah was there. He was the guy. Now you're the guy. You're the next guy. Like, and to me, this could be a big game for him, and he plays well in this one. Big confidence booster going into the real heart of this season, right? That's last few and the playoffs, obviously.
Yeah, he's spot on there. Gabe Neitzel.
Maybe it's just because he's stepping out on the field and he's going to be a hero just by doing that, but I'm looking at Josh Jacobs. And Rob had mentioned it a couple of times. I'm sure Jason's going to mention it a couple of times when he joins us here shortly. The Packers had too many quick drives, 3 and outs in the second half last time they played the Bears, and that allowed the Bears to go on these long drives. Chicago's going to look to replicate that. They want to run the football. The Packers are going to have to run the football too. Stay out of those 3rd and long situations and be able to have those more 3rd and manageables. And that's going to come down to Josh Jacobs running the ball efficiently when his number's called on 1st and 2nd down. If he plays as good as he did, and eventually they had to go away from him last week because they ended up falling down, so they had to start throwing the ball a little bit more. Obviously, they were trying to limit him the best that they could. even though he had his longest touchdown run of the year last week against Denver. It's going to come down a lot to Josh Jacobs. If he can be an effective runner against one of the worst rushing defenses in the league. I mean, they are in the bottom third in terms of yards per carry. If he can be efficient, keeping the Packers in manageable third down situations, avoid those 3-and-outs, the Packers offense is going to be in a really good spot.
I totally agree. I said it at the top of the show. I will stand by this probably throughout the remainder of the season, as this might be the last couple of games we get with him as the defensive coordinator. That's Jeff Hafley. You got to figure something out today. I mean, Chicago, despite some of us maybe not being super believers, the record's good, their offense is improved, and he is matched up with one of the best play callers in the National Football League today in Ben Johnson. Jeff Hafley without Micah Parsons and likely Evan Williams today. Got to make something happen defensively, so Jeff Hafley will be my hero of the game. But always my hero, as Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters once said, is Jason Wilde, who joins us from Soldier Field, coming up next on Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Hey, it's your friend John McGivern. In a world full of chaos, I'm grateful for a health plan that has my back. Network Health is so reliable and trustworthy, they always put me and over 126,000 members first. It's just what they do and what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
The holidays are the perfect time to thank the people who make your business shine. At Alpha Custom Apparel, we help you create custom gifts and branded apparel that show true appreciation. Whether it's polished polos for your sales team, cozy quarter zips for employees, or thoughtful giveaways for your best clients. We make it easy with fast turnaround, creative options, and Midwest service you can count on. This season, give gifts that build pride and strengthen relationships long after the holidays are over. Visit alphacustomapparel.com and start your holiday gifting today.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. Hey, it's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee. With holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust Accutrans Group to handle all my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or a festive celebration, Accutrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means, tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and Cola, refreshing Bacardi Lime and Soda, or a smooth spiced and Cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Run 40% alcohol by volume.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse, followed by an evening of comedy in Club 4-1. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
Diamond stud earrings are the Christmas gift that shines brighter than the tree.
If she already has a pair of natural diamond studs from Kessler's, bring them in and we'll give you 100% of the price you pay.
When you trade them in on a larger pair of diamond stud earrings.
That's been our policy for more than 30 years.
We have diamond studs from $198 up to $40,000.
And we have 0% financing for 18 months with approved credit.
And 0% is a really low interest rate.
Some people say that 0% is the very best interest rate.
Diamond studs always fit perfectly.
They never go out of style.
And you can wear them with anything.
If you want to trade in her old natural diamond studs from Kessler's on some bigger diamond studs from Kessler's,
go ahead and pick up her new ones today.
And you can bring in the old ones after the holidays.
Come to Kessler's.
Bigger is better. And blue diamonds are you diamonds.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you and our holiday hours, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Experience the excellence of Catholic Memorial High School for yourself. Come see how students gain a competitive edge at CMH. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule a VIP tour or Student Shadow Day. Meet the inspiring teachers, welcoming students, and feel the energy of the CMH culture, where all students achieve more than they ever imagined possible. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule your visit. That's CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School in Waukesha, where you rise.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Bruston Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is the oldest rivalry in football. For a long time, it's mostly been tradition, history, and reminders of better days in Chicago. This week, it finally matters again. The 9-4-1 Green Bay Packers.
Watson with the speed. Christian Watson in a foot race, and he's going to win it. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Visit the 10-4 Chicago Bears.
Play fake. Williams looking, throwing. It is caught. Touchdown.
Saturday Night Football at Soldier Field. 3 games left and a division title hanging in the frozen air. Chicago thinks this is their moment. First place, a little confidence, and a rivalry that suddenly feels real again for the first time since 2013. But history has a way of reminding you who you are. Jordan Love, well, he's undefeated when he plays a complete game against the Bears, 4-0.
The speedy rookie, Love, loading up, going deep, down the field, has a man, it's caught, touchdown, Bo Melton.
Matt LaFleur, 12 wins, 1 loss.
Right on cue, Joe.
The Packers already won the first meeting just 2 weeks ago.
Williams looking, throwing, it is intercepted! Keyshawn Nixon and the Packers will win it!
And now, with December winding down, the margin is thinner, the stakes are heavier, and every snap feels just a little bit louder. Experience versus belief, history versus hope. Saturday night, the NFC North decides who leads the way as we approach January. Packers, Bears. The North is on the line.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Now broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Here's Alex Strouf.
Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. We are live on ESPN Wisconsin, 620 WTMJ. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, the Super Bowl champion, Bryan Bulaga of Wipeout fame, Green Bay, Southwest alumnus, John Anderson. And joining us now from Soldier Field, he is the 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde. Go ahead, Gabe.
This quickly, sorry, Jason, but per Tom Pelissero just tweeted this out seconds ago. Josh Jacobs will be active tonight against the Bears per sources. Jacobs continues to battle a knee injury. He was on crutches Monday, didn't practice all week, but with the division potentially on the line, he's going.
Jason, your reaction to that news?
What is that bad?
Jason, thoughts? Jacobs news?
I'm not sure who's talking.
You are.
Hi.
Hello.
First of all, John Anderson, phenomenal so far since I've tuned in. I mean, the extended labor joke, incredible. I need to start running with him so I can make it to college graduation. So I appreciated that as well. I am in the press box. I've got my official Bears popcorn from Nuts on Clark. I'm excited about that. If that's healthy enough. Not to be whatever on Josh Jacobs, but no blank, as Tausch would say. I think it was pretty clear from the very jump that he was not going to allow them to have him sit out. It's great that that's been confirmed by sources, but the bottom line is he was never going to miss this game. He was not. I mean, I think it was pretty clear from his tone. Now, I watched Evan Williams work out before I came over to this hidden corner to use my golf voice from the press box. And Evan Williams did not sound like someone throughout the week that is playing tonight. So I don't know if that was one of those workouts, and Brian would know this better than anyone. Sometimes they put you through a workout to see if you're able to play tonight. Other times they put you through a workout so you can get a workout in because you're not playing tonight. And we'll find out in about 40 minutes which one of those that was for Evan Williams.
Brian, everything Jason said true, correct?
Yep. He's 100%.
So
he's 100% true. I mean, that's the way it goes.
So, Jason, Evan Williams is interesting to me just because last year, if Evan Williams wouldn't be able to go, Javon Bullard would have been the likely replacement at safety. But he's obviously been their slot corner throughout the course of the year. If he does not go, as we're anticipating, is that Zane Anderson who gets that opportunity at safety? Do they push Bullard back there and Hobbs ends up being the slot guy? How do they handle it if Williams doesn't go?
Question, Gabe. I don't know the answer to that. Those are the two options, right? Now, I would think that if you believe that Bullard is an extremely effective slot and more effective than Nate Hobbs will be if you put him in, because remember, Nate Hobbs did play some in Denver.
Not very long.
Then I no, he didn't, right? And Bullard has been really reliable. It's just it would I would expect it to be Zane Anderson. Again, I can only go on feel from conversations we have, and I thought it was really interesting how effusive Jeff Hafley was in his praise.
And it didn't feel like empty
Zane
praise.
Anderson.
Not that it was empty praise for Rashan a couple of weeks ago, but it felt like it was a guy defending Rashan Gary, a coach defending his player. This felt like genuine praise for what Zane Anderson did coming in after Williams went down.
Juxtapose that against our conversation with Steno. I thought Adam Stenovich, like, I don't know what Rob told you guys earlier. I passed him in the hallway, and I saw him eating the chicken that they have here tonight, but I haven't gotten there yet. But I think it's probably going to be Jordan Morgan at right tackle, not going with Darian Kennard. Now, Darian Kennard was questionable on the injury report with a neck. I don't know if that factors in there. But if you remember, and I know, Gabe, we talked about this earlier in the week, when Zack Tom got hurt early in the season, they literally played 3 guys in the span of 2.5 games at that position when Tom wasn't available. They put in Kennard to end the Lions game. They started Belton in 4 days later against Washington. And then when Zack Tom went out after one play in Cleveland, it was Jordan Morgan. So I would anticipate, also because they feel good about what Darian Kennard does as that kind of jumbo tight end, the Kevin Berry guy, I would expect him to still be in that role. Again, we'll have to wait and see, but I would expect them to start Zane Anderson and leave Javon Bullard where he has been very effective this season.
So we don't need to boo you like we booed Rob when he suggested the possibility of a rotation at right tackle. All of us reacted. It was not very professional by us, frankly. But he suggested they could potentially do a rotation at right tackle. You think that's likely or unlikely?
Well, Rob's the best, so who am I to judge? I would say that I don't know. I personally am not a fan of rotations.
No one is.
Again,
no one is but the Packers.
I like to think of myself as an honorary offensive lineman who, unless you're the guy who wouldn't be playing at all and is getting at least rotated in, really doesn't like it, right? Brian will tell you that. So I look, if they do that, fine, I guess. But again, like, and I don't want to pick on Jordan Morgan, just like I didn't want to pick on Rashan Gary last week from that lovely office at the Champion Center in Appleton. Yep. I don't I think it's reasonable to say, look, you're a first-round pick. You've struggled at guard. We all know you want to play left tackle. But, dude, first place in the division is on the line. Like, we need you, and we need you to play well, right? And there's a guy on this panel, and he's not the 60-year-old guy getting ready for college graduations, who was a left tackle who never got to play left tackle for the Green Bay Packers, thanks to family night ACL tear. Dude had a pretty damn good career. And if you end up being a right tackle, life goes on, right? But you have to be able to do both. You have to be able to do both. And to me, this is the one position that I think it's reasonable to expect Jordan Morgan to be effective at. Like, I also know a guy also on this panel, not named Gabe, that was a terrible guard by his own admission, right? He was cut. Bryan Bulaga was meant to be a tackle, and maybe Jordan Morgan is too. But the expectation should be, if we need you to play right tackle tonight, we need you to play at a high level. And by the way, You're not going against the Denver Broncos tonight. You're going against a team that struggles to create pressure, that's not very good against the run. I don't think that it's unreasonable to expect him to play and play well and not need to be rotated for.
There's only one person on this panel I want to hear from after Jason Wilde, and his name also is not Gabe. Bryan, go ahead.
Sorry, Gabe.
I guess I'll shut up then.
Yeah, my bad. No, I mean, Jason, you're right. I mean, I agree, because as much as we saw him play right tackle in Cleveland and it didn't go well, that was against Myles Garrett, right? Like, that's okay.
Great
That's
point.
the guy about to break the sack. That's the guy about to break the sack record. So, like, there's one extreme, and it's not against the Broncos pass rushers, who are really, really good too. So, like, this is a different beast, and he'll probably, if he is the guy, no matter who's there, if it's not Zack Tom, they're going to see Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat's a totally different body build and type that he should be okay with, right? Bigger body. It's not speed around the edge. I'm not saying you can be laid off the ball, but it's not like you're jumping the snap count because you're so scared to death that, like, you're going to get run by, right? So maybe if he is the guy, you help him early, let him get settled, and he should be able to do it, because you said at the start, he's a first-round pick. Regardless of where you're drafted, when you're a first-round pick, you're kind of asked, you got to go do it. And you said it, like, when I went to right tackle for Tausch, I had never even played. I had never taken a single rep at right tackle in training camp, in preseason, in the spring. It was only at left tackle for Cliff, and then at left guard, which was not good. And that was all. And then when I got told on Monday, hey, you're going to be playing right tackle this week, I kind of looked at Campy. I was like, what are you talking about? I've never done that before. And, well, that's the way it went. Go do it. Go get it done. That was essentially the message. If you want to play, you're going to go play there. So that's what's going to happen. And that's kind of what this is tonight, right? Like, we know Zack Tom will eventually be back. We get that. And he'll eventually be back. But if he's not able to go and they call on Jordan Morgan, like, he's got to go get it done. Like, and it's an opportunity for him to, I don't know, get some naysayers off his back, right? Like, I mean, I think it's an opportunity for that, get him some confidence, get some people off his back, because all it is right now for him, and unfortunately, this is what happens when you're first round pick. You guys have been reporting on this for a long time, John, Jason, like, you guys have been doing this for a long time. If first round pick doesn't perform in the first 2 years, there's a label put on him, and it's not a good one, right? Like, and that's the way it is. So go out there, play a good game tonight, kind of get some of those bad, vibes off you and get the job done tonight. So if it's him, like, got to go out and battle and get it done.
That was really enjoyable stuff from Jason Wilde and Bryan Bulaga. Go ahead, Jason.
Oh, the label that you want is to be the youngest player to ever start a Super Bowl. That's a much better label than the other one. That would be the alternative.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point by you.
Yes.
Which I believe that has been broken. That's been broken now. But it was Bryan Bulaga's title when the Packers won Super Bowl 45.
I don't know if it's broken.
I don't think it's broken.
Who broke it?
I thought I read it was broken. Maybe I'm wrong. I will dig. I will dig.
It was like 12.
Yeah, it was.
Well, maybe it's older than 12.
If it was broken, I haven't been told yet.
I will do the research in the break. I will do the research in the break. Coming up next, we find out what's on John Anderson's mind as we continue with Jason Wilde in the Jason Wilde Hour.
Bryan still has the record.
All right, Bryan, my bad. I apologize. That's on me. Hand up.
It's okay. It's okay.
My bad.
Hey, records are meant to be broken, just not yet.
Just
not yet.
I just don't know that one will be. I thought I read that you were the second youngest recently, but I'm full of crap. All right, what's on John Anderson's mind? We find that out coming up next on Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Put a little wow in your winter at the 31st Annual Lake Geneva Winterfest and America's Snow Sculpting Invitational, January 28th through February 1st. Watch 15 top teams create breathtaking masterpieces in snow right before your very eyes. Enjoy bonfires on the beach, a kids' play area, live entertainment, and a sparkling downtown ice sculpture walk. Plan your Winterfest getaway at visitlakeggeneva.com. Lake Geneva, where it's always been the place for winter magic.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Experience the excellence of Catholic Memorial High School for yourself. Come see how students gain a competitive edge at CMH. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule a VIP tour or Student Shadow Day. Meet the inspiring teachers, welcoming students, and feel the energy of the CMH culture, where all students achieve more than they ever imagined possible. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule your visit. That's CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School in Waukesha, where you rise.
The grill is hot, the crowd is loud, and the flavor? That's all Coops Mustard. Hey, it's Alex Strouf. For over 125 years, Coops has been the MVP of game day eats with 14 bold flavors that make every brat, burger, and pretzel a championship bite. Because Coops isn't your ordinary mustard. It's extraordinary mustard. The kind that turns tailgates into traditions and touchdowns into taste bud celebrations. This football season, bring the bold, bring the flavor, bring Coops. Coops Mustard, spreading the love since 1897.
One of the best things about the holidays is going home and spending time with family and friends. One of the worst things, getting there. Holiday travel can be tough, especially driving. If you or a loved one needs help after an accident this holiday season, we're here for you. Our top-notch team of experienced professionals is available 24/7. Be safe this holiday season. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
College hockey fans, get ready because the ice is heating up in Milwaukee for the Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off. 4 powerhouse programs, 2 action-packed days, 1 champion. It's Wisconsin, Boston College, Lake Superior State, and the defending national champion, Western Michigan. Battling it out December 28th and 29th at Fiserv Forum. Feel every bone-rattling hit and every clutch goal as these elite programs collide for holiday bragging rights. Tickets are moving fast. Grab yours today at Ticketmaster.com or the Fiserv Forum box office. The Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off. 4 teams, 1 trophy. Who will own the ice?
As the year winds down, we all pause to take stock of where we've been and where we want to go next. If finishing your degree has been on your mind, this could be your moment. At Lakeland University, education fits real life with flexible evening and online classes, credit for your work and life experiences, and multiple start dates so you don't have to wait. Earn your degree 100% online, close to home at one of our 6 Wisconsin centers or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. This next year, invest in what matters most. You. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Well, the Eagles' implosion continues as they go into halftime down 10-7 to the Washington Commanders. Jake Elliott just missed a 57-yarder. There was a penalty on it, so he got to kick a 52-yarder. Then he missed that. He's 0 for 2 on field goals. Really 0 for 3, but 0 for 2 on field goals as the Eagles trailed the Commanders 10-7 at the break in this first of 2 doubleheaders here on a Saturday evening on December 20th. It's the Jason Wilde hour of Green Bay Game Day. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, Bryan Bulaga, the youngest player to start a Super Bowl, and John Anderson with you, with Jason Wilde, who was at Soldier Field inside the press box. And I teased it. I'm going to let it happen. What's on John Anderson's brain?
I want to know, do you get some sort of certificate for being the youngest guy in a Super Bowl? Or do we have, is there some proof that we can show the officer when he pulls you over or anything like that? I just feel like that would be something that it would be cool to have.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it'd be like the ultimate, who wants to be a millionaire question. No one would be like, who the hell is Bryan Bulaga? Don't know who that guy is. Can't be him. And no one would get it right. Can't even phone a friend for that one. Can't even phone a friend. It'd be really good.
I would like it to be double Jeopardy, and then when they show it, or not like a visual a Jeopardy question, so then when you come on, then we could get the Monday Night Football Bryan Bulaga Iowa answer. I think that would be the perfect thing to go. Here's what's on my mind, Jason Wilde, is he's had to operate under these circumstances before, but the spotlight is now back on Jeff Hafley and what he will create with this defense. What has he had to say about operating without number one in the lineup?
Yeah, look, I think it's not just him. I think, and whether it actually comes to fruition or not, I think the belief is authentic. And that is, hey, we went from January 13th, the day after losing to the Eagles in the playoffs in Philly in the wild card round, to August 27th, or maybe August 26th, since there were some pretty good rumors flying around before the August 28th trade. Mm-hmm. They went all that time planning a defense that didn't have Micah Parsons on it, and that didn't, frankly, add anyone of consequence to rush the passer. Right? I don't want to take anything away from Barron Sorrell, their 4th-round pick, and Colin Oliver, their 5th-round pick, but those are the edge rushers they added. Right? In free agency, we know they added Nate Hobbs, and we know they added Aaron Banks. So Jeff Hafley was preparing a defense that was likely going to have to use a lot of the same tools that he did last year when, by the way, they registered 45 sacks, which is one of the most stunning statistics that I've come across during my time covering these guys, because their pass rush wasn't very good, right? Like, Rashan Gary led them with 7.5 sacks. 16 different players had at least a half a sack. So they had to conjure up pressure, is what I'm saying. So I think the beauty of it is they're able to use that stuff. And as Lucas Van Ness put it, we're dusting off the old playbook, which was great imagery. I don't know if there was actually to get the dust off the cover or not, but the reality is that that's if there is a silver lining, and that's why I asked Hafley the question the way I did at midweek about, look, tell me if this is dumb, because this is how my brain works, but maybe NFL coaches' brains, which are smarter than mine, don't think this way. But to me, there's this tiny little advantage, as opposed to they trade for Micah Parsons in like March, right? When a lot of deals get done or a lot of free agent signings happen. Then you spend the entire offseason, the entire training camp, thinking about, all right, what's our defense going to look like with this incredibly shiny new toy that's going to be star-spangled awesome for our pass rush? Well, they didn't get to do that. They were trying to figure out, hey, how are we going to generate pressure with Kenny Clark in the middle? And can we get more from Devontae Wyatt? Now, those are guys they had to adjust to not having. But in this instance, I just think, and I loved Evan Williams' line. To me, his locker is a couple spots down, and I use this as my lead in my story. He pointed at Micah Parsons' locker, and those two, Parsons has kind of become a little bit of a mentor to him. I think those two really hit it off. That corner has Parsons, it has Evan Williams, and it has Xavier McKinney, all kind of the same area. And he said, look, no disrespect to that guy. That guy's a future Hall of Famer, but it's borderline offensive to us that people, that you, and he pointed at me, and I appreciated that, that you would suggest that losing one guy is going to be the end of our defense. And so now look, it's my job to balance that out by saying it very well could be, right? That guy is that special. But I love the attitude. If you are a Packers fan, that is exactly what you want to hear from the guys that are still left on this defense without Micah Parsons. And that is, we love him. He's a great player. He tilts the field in our direction, but we ain't got him. And Keyshawn Nixon said the same thing. Like, we love him. We're going to miss him, but we got some dudes on this defense still. Tonight we start to find out if those dudes can rise to the occasion.
Well, and Jason, when we think Micah Parsons, you think pass rush. But is it more important for the team tonight, and I know we discussed this earlier in the week, to try to be a little bit better against the run, because it was those 4 and 5 yard runs that allowed the Bears to have those long drives in the second half a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, Rashan Gary's playing the run better than he ever has before, although he is not a high snap count guy. Look, I would say this. The double-edged sword that we talked about earlier in the week, great that they didn't give up any explosives, right? The Bears ran the ball 32 times. They never ran it for longer than a 9-yard gain. But to your point, those drives were brutally exhausting for that defense. Now, there's a chicken and the egg there too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do they have enough energy to maybe get a third down stop if the Packers' 3 possessions during that period aren't 3 and out, quick touchdown to Watson, which is awesome, and 3 and out again, right? And then they were dog tired for that final drive, and thanks to Kingsley Enagbari's third down play and the pick on 4th down, they survive. Otherwise, that game is either going to overtime or, as Ben Johnson, I think kind of hinted, they're going for 2 to try to win it at Lambeau. So look, there's a lot of things that this defense should still be capable of doing. And again, the weird thing, you and I talked about this early in the week, Gabe, like they're 8th against the run in yards per game and 4th in the league in yard attempt. And yet you can point to this game, that game, where you're kind of like, is their run defense as good as those numbers indicate, right? There's the Carolina game. There's this first half of the Minnesota game before they put the ball in J.J. McCarthy's hands. And last week, or 2 weeks ago, 13 days ago, they kept them to a low average. They didn't give up explosive plays, but they let them keep picking up 4 and 5 yard gains, which gave them 3rd and manageables to keep the drives going.
Good stuff, as always, from Jason Wilde here inside the Jason Wilde Hour on Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. We will get to the injury report in about just over 15 minutes, which is also presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. But we know what time it is on Green Bay Game Day. Coming up next, it is the time where John Anderson shines. It is the time where we hash out the biggest discussions about the Green Bay Packers ahead of Packers-Bears Part 2 at Soldier Field in Chicago tonight. It is time for Yes or No with Jason Wilde coming up next on Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse, followed by an evening of comedy in Club 41. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Gabe Neitzel for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
The holidays are the perfect time to thank the people who make your business shine. At Alpha Custom Apparel, we help you create custom gifts and branded apparel that show true appreciation. Whether it's polished polos for your sales team, cozy quarter zips for employees, or thoughtful giveaways for your best clients. We make it easy with fast turnaround, creative options, and Midwest service you can count on. This season, give gifts that build pride and strengthen relationships long after the holidays are over. Visit alphacustomapparel.com and start your holiday gifting today.
This winter, upgrade your home and your savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows, roofing, siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Get it done now and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our biggest year-end blowout. Call 262-800-4274 or head to extpros.com. Don't wait. These holiday savings melt away fast. Exterior Pros and Baths. Your home upgraded for the holidays.
This is Kevin Moret from Mentality. Every day is a silent competition, and with testosterone dropping 1% annually, you're fighting an uphill battle. Your colleagues notice when you lose your edge, your partner senses when your confidence wavers, and without addressing low T, you're set up to fail. No willpower can overcome this hormonal deficit. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments have shown a 30% increase in testosterone levels. Don't let low T define you. Reclaim your power at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
This season, the Bucks are going for it all.
A game winner for the Greek Freak.
Go inside the team's pursuit of a championship on Locked In, the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, narrated by Bucks legend Marcus Johnson. Hear from the team stars on why they think they can make history. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champion Bryan Bulaga, John Anderson, and Jason Wilde hanging out with you. 5 wide here in the 5 o'clock hour, ahead of Packers-Bears Part 2 here in Week 16 of the NFL season. Live from Chicago, it's Saturday night. And live on Green Bay Game Day, it's yes or no.
Even the cart is ambivalent about this segment.
I think this first question, I'm just gauging where everybody's at today. I think this should be a yes for most, but also I don't know your palates necessarily. Jason, I start with you. Yes or no, you enjoy deep dish pizza?
Wow, that's not what I was expecting. By the way, great line live from Chicago at Saturday night. That was really good. Really well done.
That seems
well said.
insincere.
Well said. No, it
seems insincere.
No, it was no. I genuinely laughed. I love Saturday Night Live, so I appreciate it. It was very good.
Thanks.
It's gonna. I'm not serving any sort of suspensions or anything for showing up late, right? I don't have to answer yes or no to this.
You don't have to, but I felt like that was a question where it's pretty simple, yes or no.
Considering that as we were walking around Chicago today, I specifically said that I don't like deep dish pizza because it's too much cheese. I have to answer your question, which pains me to do it, but I would be lying if I faked it here. No, I'm not. I am not a deep dish pizza guy. Nope.
Interesting. John Anderson, how about you? Are you a deep dish pizza guy, yes or no?
Take it or leave it.
I knew that was coming.
God, well done.
Way.
God, I have so much respect for you.
Jason's jealous he didn't think of that.
That's exactly how I'm feeling right now.
Bryan grew up in Illinois, so I feel like he has to answer me. He's got an opinion on this. He grew up in Illinois.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a deep dish pizza guy.
I am too. I love it.
I like it. I think it's good. I'm not gonna. I'm like Jason. I can't lie about it. I mean, listen, and you don't get 300-something pounds from not eating deep dish pizza growing up. Like that's just the case. So like, yeah, I mean, what do you think? I ate salads only when I was growing up. I didn't eat deep dish.
That's a good point.
Of course I did.
Good, fair point by you. Gabe Neitzel, who is an excellent cook, by the way. I'm curious on your opinion on deep dish pizza.
It's a no from me, dog.
Really?
Yeah, I'm out. That's not. I don't know what that is. It's not pizza.
Brian, that might be fighting words for Brian, who's from Illinois.
It might be closer to a casserole. I think you're right there, John.
If there's one person on the panel, you don't want to fight.
I like it all.
I love it. I love it personally.
Like New York, Chicago. I mean, whatever.
I just want to let you know you can certainly gain plenty of weight without eating deep dish pizza. I can assure you of that.
There are a lot of other things.
Well done by Jason Wilde. All right, let's
First-hand
talk
experience.
Let's talk football now. I actually had this question written, and it's something we talked about in the first hour, so I'm curious from Jason's perspective how he feels about this. But the most troublesome player that is questionable for the Packers' success in Chicago tonight is offensive tackle Zack Tom, yes or no?
This one I don't have to give an answer to because, I think the problem with the framing of that question is, for me, that I never really expected Zack Tom to play.
Sure.
Again, like one of the things about, and I'm sure Rob feels the same way, like you and Bryan, Bryan was smart. Like when he had injury problems, we just never saw him. That's why it took him until like 2016 to win his first, or 2019 to win his first Tom Mulhern Award. Because you know what questions are coming. And Zack Tom on Tuesday, and I'm quoting him on this. You ain't getting a quote from me. And so that was Tuesday. Wednesday he talked a little bit. Thursday I grabbed him in the hallway, and his affect was very down. And basically he said, if I wake up on game day feeling the way I feel now, I'm not playing. And so that was, to me, discouraging. So in that, I think, to answer your question, my mind went right away to how are they going to fill that void? Because I don't expect him to play. And again, you just have to be smart, because as much as you feel like this game is a make or break, I also think that they can theoretically still win this division without winning tonight. So they have to make smart decisions. I would expect in the next 7 minutes that both Zack Tom and Evan Williams will be inactive, but we'll have to wait and see.
John, it seemed like earlier your answer to this question was yes. I'm curious how you answer it now.
Could I get the country of origin on the question, or no? What was it again?
Do you need me to repeat the question, or would you like the origin of the country? The most troublesome, questionable player for the Packers' success in Chicago tonight is offensive tackle Zack Tom.
I mean, that's a lot of qualifiers on that. And given that if he doesn't go,
it's yes or no. Answer the question.
Well, but see, all I ever teach the kids is the yes and no questions are the worst questions you can ask anybody. So I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to make you better.
Time out.
That tracks.
Yes or no, you think of me when you teach kids that question, or you teach kids that?
Not even one.
Oh my God.
No,
that's disappointing.
What kind of egomaniac are you?
Because I know how much he hates this game. So I was thinking maybe now when he's teaching that in his advanced journalism classes at the University of Missouri, he's thinking of me. He says, I work with this buffoon on ESPN Milwaukee, and he always asks yes or no questions.
Sure. Here's a how-to on what not to do. I prefer to show people the good examples. But I will say this. If Tom's out, right, the whole thing becomes the 9 people we've discussed that could take the position, or the 3 in the rotation, and do they stay thing. So Tom's the question you frame it about Tom, and it's not about him at all. It's all about the people that come through for him. So how do you the people that replace him and how they perform. So I reject the premise of the question that Tom's even involved in this. It's about the guys that bring it back to him. So I don't know how to answer which, I am ambivalent on which of those guys, whether it's Kennard or whether it is Jordan Morgan that's got to go take his spot. So, and how they perform, your question would be, your answer is going to be totally different. So I don't know that in the hypothetical that I'm willing to put myself out there for Zack Tom.
Unlike he was in the first hour, Bryan Bulaga, the former right tackle.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think there's a lot of guys that are questionable that are key individuals. I don't know if you can put a value on one of these guys or the other, right? Like, I mean, I think for me, I would look at, I would look at it. I would look at how valuable is Christian Watson? How valuable is Josh Jacobs? How valuable is Evan Williams? Like, I mean, you look at those things and Zack Tom, and I talked a little bit about why Zack Tom would be important to have in a game like this when a team that brings a lot of pressure on the road and things like that. Like, I mean, there's value to each of these ones. So, like, I don't really have a straight answer as he's the most important or the second most or the third. I don't I don't really have an answer.
Gabe, what could you say that's not already been said?
I'm going to take your question, just ask a different question, because, Jason, you said something off of that. So Zack Tom on Wednesday said, man, if I feel this way, I'm not going to go. Do you think that's because he potentially learned a lesson from the oblique thing and he tried to play through that, went out there for one play, and then had to go down right away?
That's a good question.
Yeah. So, if only that had been the question, because we're not getting those last 8 minutes back. I think that's an excellent question. And I have to think that he learned from that, right? Because, look, and again, Bryan can speak to this far more intelligently than me. The challenge for a player is, on the one hand, competitors always want to play. Now, Bryan would also probably tell you that not all guys are wired that way. There are plenty of guys that are like, look, if I'm not going to be 100%, I'm not going to go out there and play poorly and be criticized for it when I can not play because I'm not anywhere close to 100%. But there are guys, and they're usually offensive linemen, that say, look, I don't care. I'm going to play. I'm playing through this. I mean, I remember Marco Rivera playing on a torn MCL like 4 days after it had happened because they had like Thanksgiving or a Thursday night game. Like, that's ridiculous, and you should never do that. But in the case of Zack Tom, yeah, that is an incredible lesson. Like, you don't do us a damn bit of good if you can only last one play, right? Because now, not only have you wasted an active spot on the game day roster, but now you probably have thrown everything into disarray in terms of what your backup plans were. And then, if you remember that Cleveland game, then Rasheed Walker goes out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And so now Jordan Morgan has to go over to left tackle. So, yeah, and Josh Jacobs has obviously been phenomenal about this, but he's also produced. Like, if Josh Jacobs goes out there tonight and gets hit on that knee in last two plays, then you're kind of like, but again, they didn't promote a running back from the practice squad. Like, they're counting on him playing. So clearly, you have to feel really good about that player saying, I'm good to go. And I think we've had a lot of examples, to your point, Gabe, not just Zack Tom, who this year have tried to give it a go and then haven't been able to keep going. And that puts you in such a bind on game day.
Quickly, just want to hit one more. And it's just this, is yes or no, is Matthew Golden's breakout the talk about him breaking out here with 3 games remaining in the regular season, is that justified, Jason?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question, because there was a time where you were wondering what exactly is his season going to end up looking like, right? And I this is what I wrote the other day, like, talking to him in the locker room, like the Friday before the Bears game. I mean, he was big time downtrodden. He's frustrated with the injuries. He's frustrated with his lack of production. He's frustrated with the opportunities he got when he did play. And he's frustrated that the other 2 dudes that were drafted in the first round at his position are both leading their teams in receiving. And here he is. And I thought, when I talked to him on I guess it was Thursday, because I always get my days mixed up on a Saturday game. But when I talked to him on Thursday, I thought it was as if a burden had been lifted off of his shoulders. Like a cloud had dissipated. And I think it was really important to him to have the moments he had in Denver. And again, if they're going to curtail Christian Watson's snaps tonight, play him but not play him extensively, you need Matthew Golden to have some of those contributions again.
Love it. All right, we will stop yes or no there. We will get to a break. When we come back, we take a look at the injury report for both the Packers and the Bears, which is coming up next, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. The injury report is next on Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Looking for a delicious meal without breaking the bank? Cousin Subs has you covered. Our $10 meal deal gives you a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub piled high with fresh hand-sliced ingredients, crisp veggies, and all your favorite toppings. Add a bag of chips or regular fries, a fountain drink, and a cookie, all for just $10. This deal's available online or through the Cousins app only. And you can enjoy your meal at home, at work, or delivered straight to your door, hot and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Available at participating locations. Offer subject to change.
Experience the excellence of Catholic Memorial High School for yourself. Come see how students gain a competitive edge at CMH. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule a VIP tour or student shadow day. Meet the inspiring teachers, welcoming students, and feel the energy of the CMH culture, where all students achieve more than they ever imagined possible. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule your visit. That's CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School in Waukesha, where you rise.
Kyle Brust-Norman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies, they're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means. Tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and cola, refreshing Bacardi lime and soda, or a smooth spiced and cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume.
It's the holiday season, the best time of the year for sports. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, it's all happening at once. Hey, it's Mark Tauscher with ESPN Wisconsin, and there's one place where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks. It's the simplest way to play daily fantasy. Make your player picks in less than 60 seconds. Just choose more or less on at least 2 player stats. You get them right, you can cash in. And new this season, early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you might be able to cash out before the game even ends. And with stacks, you could pick the same player up to 3 times in one lineup, like more on Giannis's rebounds, points, threes, assists. You can only do that on Prize Picks. Deposits are fast and easy with Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. So, the holidays are almost here. While Santa is checking his list, maybe you can check the IRS off of your list. Don't let the IRS be Scrooge this year and end up with a lump of coal in your stocking. The IRS seems to have a knack for knocking you down just when you are getting back up. Imagine having your bank account wiped out or your paycheck being short because the IRS is taking money out to pay your back taxes. Get your head out of the sand and plan to take care of your issues and control the situation instead of letting it control you. Nothing is going to change if you don't take action. We can help you get the IRS off your back to alleviate additional stress during the holiday season. The first meeting is free. Call now, 414-325-2040, or visit nealgroup.net. You earned it, we help you keep it. That's 414-325-2040 or nealgroup.net.
Welcome back to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. The injury report also brought to you by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Visit orthowisconsin.com today for more information. Kind of what we expected, frankly, on the Packers side. Evan Williams and Zack Tom ruled out. Defensive lineman Quentin Bohanna, tight end Josh Wiley after suffering the concussion last week, and defensive lineman Nazir Stackhouse are your inactives for the Packers, meaning Josh Jacobs is active, meaning Christian Watson is active. So good news for the Packers offense on that front, but no Evan Williams, no Zack Tom for the Packers. Jason, not really surprising, kind of what you said all week.
Yeah, but 2 things that are worth noting. Brenton Cox, who was added to the roster, and Kingsley Enagbare, who was questionable with the illness. Both of those guys are active. So, again, it takes a village to replace Micah Parsons. Both those guys are in the mix. And look, if I had been bolder on our show, I might have taken Brenton Cox, even though he wasn't on the roster yet, as a Steinhoffel sleeper of the week, because he did flash last season as a pass rusher. I'm not saying that he's going to have 3 sacks tonight, but he could help them.
Yeah, I thought the way Rob framed it was interesting. He said something to the effect of, obviously he's coming back from an injury, but he's fresh, right? He hasn't played since week 1 against Detroit, which is an interesting way to look at it here on December 20th.
Yeah, again, Rob's the best, so I would tend to agree with him, but I would just say that, this is a guy who got pressure last year, who had sacks, and it's all hands on deck, and they can pretend about how, well, like Evan Williams, like I said earlier, being borderline disrespectful, but they're going to miss that dude tonight. And they need some guys to step up. And to Brian's point, when he did his hero, this has to be Rashan Gary's night. Like, I don't want to put additional pressure on the guy, but like, if I'm going to say what I did about Jordan Morgan and being a first-round pick, like, this guy's a first-round pick. He's also a $96 million player. And he hasn't had a sack in 7 weeks. He needs to have an impact tonight. He can dedicate the game to his fallen teammate who's getting ACL surgery at some point in the near future. But they need Rashan Gary to have a big night tonight.
Donovan Jennings active for the first time this year, by the way, with Zack Tom out. That's there you go. Who's usually been a healthy scratch all season. And of course, whenever Zack Tom is injured, our YouTube chat becomes overwhelmed with people asking, Bryan Bulaga, how fast can you get to Chicago?
Way underweight. I'm way underweight. Can't get it done.
Tight end.
I mean, so you weren't inspired by Phillip Rivers this last week? You just wanted to start going ham on those deep dish pizzas to potentially fill in this week?
Yeah, no, that did not inspire me. I thought, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? But hey, health insurance, another 5 years, chalk it up.
And it only delays his Hall of Fame campaign for a guy that's probably on the border of a Hall of Famer. All right, Gabe and Jason are both departing us, so I want to give them both ample time to give some final thoughts and analysis on Packers-Bears coming up in about an hour and 20 minutes at Soldier Field. Gabe Neitzel, before you head to Buffalo Wild Wings for Marquette and Creighton, your final thoughts on Packers-Bears.
Again, so much of the talk, understandably so, throughout the course of the week was Micah Parsons, but I think a bigger part of this game is the Packers finding a little bit better of a solution to slowing down the running game, because that's what the Bears are going to want to do with no Odunze, with no Luther Burden. And I think it's big for the Packers to be more efficient offensively. Can't have those 3 and outs. Those little things that you were able to, get away with Micah Parsons on the team, you're not able to get away with anymore. Dropped interceptions. You have to take advantage of those because you don't have Micah Parsons to potentially erase those with a big play or a big pressure. And I think that puts a little bit more pressure on Jordan Love in this offense. Have to be the efficient offense you were in the first half of Denver last week. If you do that, I think you're going to be really happy with where you're at the end of the game.
I'm with you on that. Jason Wilde, live from Soldier Field. Go ahead.
I love the teachings of John Wooden, even though Homer ruins the fact that I love his knowledge so much by telling me that he cheated all the time. But, he would always talk about competitive greatness. And I use the Elizabeth Kubler-Ross 5 stages of grief after they lost Micah Parsons on Sunday. I want to add a 6th, and that should be galvanization. These guys should be galvanized by this challenge and this adversity. Matt LaFleur, I'm not saying he stole it from me. I probably more likely stole it from him, but he talks about adversity all the time. And I do the same with Matty and Sid. And it's all about how do you overcome it. And to me, this is a colossal opportunity. And it's not just for Rashan Gary and Kingsley Enagbare and Brenton Cox. It's not just for Edgerrin Cooper and Quay Walker. It's about Jordan Love. It's about all those guys. You are facing a pivotal moment in your season where you lost a guy that was really one of the heartbeats of what you do in that locker room. I want to see you honor him, for lack of a better term, by playing your ass off and winning the game. And I think that they're capable of that. I know some of my takes, which are never even close to lukewarm, much less hot. Got a few Bears fans fired up, which I have a lot of Bears fan friends. And God knows I'm the only person, I think, in Wisconsin media that has continually said, I want the Bears to be good so this rivalry is actually meaningful. So I don't know why Bears fans were unhappy with my takes, but I think the Packers are a better team, and I'm eager to see what happens tonight.
I love it, Jason. I will talk to you after the game on Green Bay Game Night. Thanks, buddy.
Take care. Be good.
Gabriel?
Gabe,
safe
good luck
travels.
finding a TV, man.
All right. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Just keep me in your thoughts the best you can, John. I appreciate that you're rooting for me.
He's such a jerk. He's such a jerk. Brian, John, and I have you for about another 55 minutes as we continue to preview Packers-Bears. That is coming up next on Green Bay Game Day.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Put a little wow in your winter at the 31st Annual Lake Geneva Winterfest and America's Snow Sculpting Invitational, January 28th through February 1st. Watch 15 top teams create breathtaking masterpieces in snow right before your very eyes. Enjoy bonfires on the beach, a kids' play area, live entertainment, and a sparkling downtown ice sculpture walk. Plan your Winterfest getaway at visitlakgeneva.com. Lake Geneva, where it's always been the place for winter magic.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Game day in Green Bay means friends, food, football, and fun. But first, make sure your ride looks the part. Whether you're rolling up to the tailgate, headed to the watch party, or just cruising around town, a clean car sets the tone for victory. At Tsunami Express Car Wash, you'll get a fast, premium shine every time. Plus free vacuums and detailing tools keep things looking spotless inside and out. With 13 locations and growing across Wisconsin, it's easy to swing through your way to the action. Kick off game day the right way. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
The holidays are the perfect time to thank the people who make your business shine. At Alpha Custom Apparel, we help you create custom gifts and branded apparel that show true appreciation. Whether it's polished polos for your sales team, cozy quarter zips for employees, or thoughtful giveaways for your best clients. We make it easy with fast turnaround, creative options, and Midwest service you can count on. This season, give gifts that build pride and strengthen relationships long after the holidays are over. Visit alphacustomapparel.com and start your holiday gifting today.
Christmas is a time of generosity.
Kessler's wants to be generous, and we suspect that you want to be generous too. Let's team up.
This year, we're going to make it possible for you to be more generous than ever.
Number 1, Kessler's has a big selection of delightful diamond jewelry priced at $150 on up.
Number 2, great gifts at affordable prices such as sterling silver earrings, pendants, and bracelets to fit every look and every personality.
Number 3. With your purchase of more than $299, you'll get a bonus gift worth at least $90.
You can choose from a lucky 4-leaf clover pendant
or a 22-inch stainless steel curb chain, ion plated in yellow gold.
And please, please don't get all cleaned up and dressed up. This is Kessler's, your home away from home.
If you're wearing muddy boots and your pajama bottoms, that's totally fine.
We've all done it.
Come to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you and our holiday hours, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
College hockey fans, get ready because the ice is heating up in Milwaukee for the Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off. 4 powerhouse programs, 2 action-packed days, 1 champion. It's Wisconsin, Boston College, Lake Superior State, and the defending national champion, Western Michigan. Battling it out December 28th and 29th at Fiserv Forum. Feel every bone-rattling hit and every clutch goal as these elite programs collide for holiday bragging rights. Tickets are moving fast. Grab yours today at Ticketmaster.com or the Fiserv Forum box office. The Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off. 4 teams, 1 trophy. Who will own the ice?
This winter, upgrade your home and your savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows, roofing, siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Get it done now and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our biggest year-end blowout. Call 262-800-4274 or head to extpros.com. Don't wait. These holiday savings melt away fast. Exterior Pros and Baths. Your home upgraded for the holidays.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is the oldest rivalry in football. For a long time, it's mostly been tradition, history, and reminders of better days in Chicago. This week, it finally matters again. The 9-4-1 Green Bay Packers.
Watson with the speed. Uh-oh! Christian Watson in a foot race
visit the 10-4 Chicago Bears.
Play fake. Williams looking, throwing. It is caught. Touchdown!
Saturday Night Football at Soldier Field. 3 games left and a division title hanging in the frozen air. Chicago thinks this is their moment. First place, a little confidence, and a rivalry that suddenly feels real again for the first time since 2013. But history has a way of reminding you who you are. Jordan Love, well, he's undefeated when he plays a complete game against the Bears, 4-0.
The speedy rookie, Love, loading up, going deep, down the field, has a man, it's caught, touchdown, Bo Melton.
Matt LaFleur, 12 wins, 1 loss.
Right on cue, Joe.
The Packers already won the first meeting just 2 weeks ago.
Williams looking, throwing, it is intercepted! Keyshawn Nixon and the Packers will win it!
And now, with December winding down, the margin is thinner, the stakes are heavier, and every snap feels just a little bit louder. Experience versus belief, history versus hope. Saturday night, the NFC North decides who leads the way as we approach January. Packers, Bears. The North is on the line.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Now broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Here's Alex Strouf.
Just over an hour away from kickoff, it's Packers-Bears coming up at Soldier Field. The winner will walk out in first place of the NFC North. Alex Strouf, Super Bowl champion Bryan Bulaga from Wipeout fame. Our buddy John Anderson with us, of course, giving me a hard time, as he always does. When we are tailgating at the Tundra Trio, our partners and fans sip on incredible cocktails. That's thanks to our friends at V Private Bar Services, the go-to team behind our bar hospitality. They bring the flavor, the flair, and the experience that takes our game day to the next level. Raise the bar for your next event. Book V Private Bar Services today. All right, we know the injury report. We know who's playing. We know who's not playing. I'm intrigued to see the workload for Josh Jacobs after hearing he was on crutches 5 days ago. Again, that could be preventative, I guess, like the Lucas Van Ness boot that Jason referenced. But not ideal, Brian. Not ideal.
No, not ideal. I mean, I'm just hoping it's precautionary. Normally crutches are not precautionary, but with him, I don't doubt him at all. He's one of those guys that he seems like I don't know how he's going to be, and goes out there and just plays a hell of a game like he did last week against Denver. So like I don't, regardless of the reports, if he was on crutches, if he was limping around the locker room, all those are accurate. I get it, but for some reason this guy gets out there on game day, goes between the white lines, and just absolutely looks like there's nothing wrong with him.
I mean, he was terrific last week. Terrific last week. Yeah. He busted off that 40-yard run. He had just a ridiculous touchdown catch. For a guy that was signed in Green Bay last year and never had a receiving touchdown, he looked like a heck of a wide receiver on that catch last week.
Sure did. And that's not part of his game, right? And he's out there running wheel routes. Like, I mean, that's for someone with a bad knee out there running wheel routes and mossing guys. Yeah. Like, that's very interesting to me. So, like, hey, and you know, the thing is, it probably doesn't feel good, right? Like, he's probably hurting, but he's got an extra gear, man. And that's why as an offensive lineman, I admire the guy so much, because I think he's the type of back that you want to block for. He's going to go to work with you. And that to me is admirable, man. I love it.
Yeah, that's totally true. Really well said by you on that. And John, I feel like almost sometimes Jacobs becomes kind of an afterthought of the Packers offense as Jordan Love. I don't mean in terms of play calling. I mean like for the fan base, because of Jordan Love's continued ascension and the way he's played and the fact he was in the MVP conversation for so much of the season. I feel like us as fans almost sometimes forget how great of a workhorse he is.
Yeah, and listen, nothing says questionable quite like walking around on crutches, right? Like, I feel like that seems like, okay, just in case I want to know what your questionable is. Yeah, and because some of that is, especially this year, like we haven't had a ton of these now that we're all into the use of the word explosives. Like, this guy does so much of his work between the tackles and literally from 1 yard to 8 yards. And that's my favorite thing about this guy, is that he is just not afraid, never seems to take it down off when he has to go in there and stick his nose in it and just know that this is the play is designed to get just a few yards. Just we used to always joke about Ron Jaworski when he would give analysis of NFL films at ESPN, because he'd always start, this play is designed to score, which you're like, I think so hard. But you see some play by Josh Jacobs plays, and I'm like, I'm not sure they're all designed to score. They're designed to just be positive yards and productive. And Brian, you can talk about him being on board and the lineman, because he just does so much dirty work that he'll take it 20 times and average 3.5, and people go, well, he only got 70 yards. You're like, you know how valuable those 70 yards were in terms of whether it was time of possession or getting one key yard. And that's where I think his value is we love to see the guys go for 40 yards or 50, but I don't know, that guy that's willing to do that kind of slog, I think is really valuable to the team. And I think maybe that goes to your point, Alex, is that, sometimes we overlook that part is really important.
Yeah.
And he does it and seems to do it willingly.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that. And he's a dude that continues to play through it. And last week, again, I bring up that as a reference point because he was questionable last week too. And he just goes out there and has a ridiculous game. So such a crucial part of this offense, especially in the cold months. Excited to see what his action is today, if he's limited in any capacity. But all those backs are active. Emmanuel Wilson and Chris Brooks, who was also on the injury report, are both active for this one. Hey, Green and Gold fans, it is game day. Kick off your tailgate with Bacardi, whether it's a Bacardi and Cola, lime and soda, or spiced and cola. Bacardi, your game day go-to. Grab a bottle at your local retailer. Live passionately. Drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum, 40% alcohol by volume. What are the expectations? Because Vegas has said, well, Packers, Bears, Packers, Bears, Packers, Bears. It's flipped back and forth so many times this week. We continue to preview this one as Bryan Bulaga rejoins us coming up next on Green Bay Game Day.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Homer here for Window Nation's end of the year sale. It's cold here in Milwaukee, and if you've been thinking about new windows, it's good you waited, because during Window Nation's end of the year sale, get 50% off, plus you could get 0% interest for 5 years. On windows that stop the cold wintry drafts, seal out moisture, and so energy efficient, you'll save money on your utility bills. Installed in 1 day. Lifetime warranty and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Sale ends soon. Don't miss out on big savings. WindowNation.com to get started.
As the year winds down, we all pause to take stock of where we've been and where we want to go next. If finishing your degree has been on your mind, this could be your moment. At Lakeland University, education fits real life with flexible evening and online classes, credit for your work and life experiences, and multiple start dates so you don't have to wait. Earn your degree 100% online, close to home at one of our 6 Wisconsin centers, or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. This next year, invest in what matters most. You. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
The holidays are full of moments worth saving. family dinners, cozy nights, holiday parties that last all night, and Carbless makes every one of them better. Crisp, refreshing, and full of flavor, 0 sugars, 0 carbs, and only 100 calories and gluten-free. Carbless is the gift that keeps on giving. A guilt-free cocktail that never compromises on taste, turning every sip into a little celebration. This season, bring bliss to every holiday moment with Carbless. Full of flavor, no compromise.
When storms hit or accidents happen, it's not just about property, it's about people. I'm Mandy Grimal-Lococo with Grimal and Associates Insurance. We help families bundle home, auto, and life coverage so you're never facing life's what-ifs alone. With the heavy rains we've seen in Milwaukee, we'll review your policy to be sure water backup, sump pump failures, and flood risks don't drain your wallet. Your home is more than walls and a roof, it's where life happens. At Grimal and Associates Insurance in Shorewood, we're here to protect your home, your family, and your peace of mind. Call us today at 414-332-0838.
There's a holiday gift out there that everyone loves. It's compact, tasty, and one size fits all. It's a Cousin Subs gift card. Make your life a little easier. Give your friends and family a better gift this holiday season. Purchase $30 in gift cards today at your favorite Cousin Subs location and receive a certificate for a free 7.5-inch sub. Oh man, that's the gift that keeps on giving. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse, followed by an evening of comedy in Club 41. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply. Welcome back to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. We continue as we preview Packers at Bears. The Packers 9-4-1, the Bears 10-4 in first place of the NFC North, at least for now, as the Packers head in there. I feel like we spent so much time talking about the injuries, because that has been the story this week, obviously. You lose Micah Parsons to the torn ACL. You're without Evan Williams. You're without Zack Tom. So, naturally, that's where our attention is brought to. But I think the place I want to go now is just to talk about this offense. And overall, fourth quarter last week aside, the consistency we've seen since the 2-game back-to-back losses to Carolina and Philadelphia in early November, I feel like they've really turned a corner for the most part. Matt LaFleur with play calling and Jordan Love, who really ascended into the MVP conversation up until last week, has been consistent in making plays and has really brought his accuracy up both downfield and in the intermediate. I feel like this offense is cooking a little bit. Now, obviously, without Zack Tom, that's going to hurt tonight in terms of protection for Jordan Love. But John, I've been impressed with, since those losses to Philadelphia and Carolina, the way it seems this offense has kind of turned it up a notch.
I would agree some. I do still think, boy, they leave a bunch of points out there.
Yeah, I do too.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I do agree with you on that.
Like, you're going to go, what was their best game? And you go, I guess maybe pretty good in Pittsburgh. They put up 30. Dallas,
they put up 40, right?
Good, but that was early. That wasn't under this stretch, So every once in a while they baffle.
Yeah, Thanksgiving probably would be my vote. Thanksgiving, I thought they were really good offensively.
You go 3 and out, and then you get a big play like a straight, right. And then you're 3 and out again.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying everything because I'm not at a Buffalo Wild Wings, but I have a TV that I can see from where I'm at, and. The Eagles just put together a little 17, 18 play drive for 10 minutes. Like, I don't know that they have any of those grinder out ones, but they certainly are better. Like, they have never, other than those 2 games, they've been in Cleveland. So the 3 really bad losses, they have been, that's where they stunk out loud. But other than that, they've been, competent or better. And literally till everybody lost their mind last week, they're in that game, right? You're down 8. I can do math. That's a 1-possession game. Keep your heads about you. Score a touchdown. You got a chance. I don't have any reason to think that even when we're not sure what Christian Watson's going to be tonight, and we're not sure exactly what Josh Jacobs is going to be tonight, even though, as you've alluded to, even when he's hurt, he seems to be that guy. He's always the same guy. Brian pointed that out too. Yeah, I think this is a team that can put up, 4 touchdowns. I want to know if they can put up, 40 points again.
Yeah, it's a good point by you. And Brian was part of the best offenses in Packers history, bar none. So he saw several 40-point games when he was blocking for number 12 back in the day. But Brian, curious of your evaluation the last month or so of this Packers offense.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been trending in a really good direction. I mean, it seems like they've gotten a good balance and continuity of what they want to be and who they are, right? Like, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. I think early on in this season, I think we saw a lot of, I don't want to say trying to be something they're not, but they were obviously trying to reestablish what Jacobs had going last year, right? Like, that was obvious. They were trying to do that. And there's different variables, not the same line, rotation in and out of that offensive line with injuries. It's just, it was just never going to be the same, right? And it finally seems as if, Matt and obviously Jordan, and then they've gotten a kind of a stranglehold on what they are and what they want to be, and then how they're now utilizing Jacobs, not just in the run game, but in the pass game. He's more than just a turn it around and hand it to him. He can be a threat out of the backfield. So to me, and obviously you get Watson back and he's producing the way he is, they found a good rhythm. And to me, like, it's a really good flow that they have going. And I think they can only get better. I think they can continue to be more productive, especially those 3 and outs. Like, that's like, you got, like, I always look at, like, you're going to have 3 and outs in games. Like, the best offenses I was on, we had 3 and outs. But it's just having them consistently
once a month.
Every now and again we would have one. It's trying to get get your first down, right? Like, put the defense on their heels a little bit, get the first down, and give your defense a little rest and try to get some rhythm and like, obviously, I don't know what their plan is tonight, right? Like, you want to keep your defense fresh. I get that. But there also seems to be times that this offense can get going and they look good when they play with a little tempo, right? And to me, on the road, getting up to the line of scrimmage, playing a little bit faster, keeping the Bears defense that likes to pressure on their heels a little bit, and playing with a little tempo wouldn't be a bad thing. Like, we played with tempo with Aaron, and it wasn't no huddle. It was just he wanted to be on the line.
Right.
He would hear the plays in his head, and he would be able to communicate that with code words to us, and we would just go. It didn't need to be a huddle. It'd be a muddle huddle. And that, to me, is something that Jordan can definitely do. He knows this offense. It's just a matter, can you communicate that up and down the line of scrimmage on the road? That's really what it is.
Yeah, but important to recognize, right? The air kind of came out of the balloon last week with all the injuries. It just did. It was a winnable game for Green Bay at Denver, who obviously holds the league's longest winning streak now, 11 in a row. But they scored in their first 5 possessions. Now, 3 of them were field goals. You'd like to turn 3 into 7. But the first 5 possessions, every possession they had in the first half resulted in points, and then they had that touchdown right out of the gates in the second half as they kind of double-dipped with a field goal and a touchdown, added 10 points. Between the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half. So that's the consistency you've been waiting to see with a Jordan Love-led offense. And against one of the league's best defenses in Denver, to score on each of your first 5 possessions, that's saying something to me about where this offense is at in terms of consistency.
Agreed.
So
agreed. Yeah.
You talk about getting better and maybe mastery of what it is, Brian. Explain to me then, maybe you talked about Aaron. He gets you up now the line, do all those things. The confidence you need to have the quarterback that you're always going to maybe be in the right play. That guy's not, when he checks out of something, you trust what he sees. And how does that develop with a guy who is at that position?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obviously experience, but then it's seeing it over and over that he's right a lot. Right? Like, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. And I think this is like Captain Obvious, taking care of the football. I think that's the biggest thing. the next part that I would always say, because this isn't just the quarterback, it is on the quarterback, but it's a lot of it. Are we actually organized when we're doing this, right? Are guys not running all over to the left or the right? Are we in the right formation? Are we in this? Are we in that? It's, are we organized? And that takes 10 other guys to make sure we're organized, right? Are we not having stupid false start penalties? Or do we have enough guys on the line? Like, that's the whole thing with doing a huddle type operation, that the quarterback's in charge. Obviously, he's calling the shots, but it's that everyone else understands, like, what the operation's supposed to look like. It's not moseying around there, like, taking forever, but, like, you're on the line pressuring the defense, but the quarterback's in complete control, because then he's able to not only, well, Aaron was great at this, he heard all the defensive calls. So he was on the line hearing everything they would say, and after about a quarter, he would start to pick up pattern recognition of what they were saying. And then he would be able to adjust based off what they were saying and hand signals and things like that. So that's all based on quarterback experience, having the guys that are able to be calm under that situation, that can communicate up and down the line of scrimmage when it's loud, when you're trying to pass code words back and forth about plays and snap counts and things like that. That all factors into it. It's the quarterback and then the guys around him. And that's kind of like where you can get better at practicing that, and you can really drill that, but then you don't find it out until you actually do it in a game. And that's the trust between the head coach and the quarterback and the play caller, essentially. But it's got to be trust with the rest of the guys that they can do it, right? They can get done what is being asked of them to do by the quarterback and the head coach.
So I love that perspective and hearing all that from you, Brian, but I'm curious, do you anticipate a game of kind of keep away for both of these offenses? Because in the first matchup between these two teams 13 days ago, Chicago owned the time of possession battle. They won it by about 8 minutes, and they really just tried to keep the ball away from the Packers. Long, sustained drives that result in points. The Packers ultimately win that game by 7, thanks to a Keyshawn Nixon interception at the end of the game. But that was the Bears' approach. I imagine it will be similar today. I also imagine the Packers could try to almost copycat that approach in this game while they're down Zack Tom offensively on the offensive line. What are you anticipating from each of these offenses?
I certainly think Chicago's going to do that. I think that's going to be their
same
MO
approach.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to be Chicago's MO. And I think with Green Bay, because they can play multiple different ways, it just depends on the flow of the game, right? And to me, if I am Green Bay, I am going to slow it down a touch based on certain situations of the game, right? Like that would just be that would be what I would go into it thinking, at least when I go into the meeting room on, well, I guess it would be Monday when they did this, because it's a short week and you're going into the game plan. There's going to be times where, hey, we may go a little bit faster. Hey, we're going to pull back and we're going to go a little bit slower. We're going to huddle. We're going to do things like that, because there's nothing that takes crowds out of it. Then you slow the thing down, you quiet them down, and you don't rush to the line and things like that. Because when you're at the line of scrimmage and it's a normal huddle and you break and you go out there, the crowd always gets louder when you huddle and then break. If you're just already at the line and you're just kind of up there, the crowd doesn't. It's not as loud for some reason. I don't know if they don't understand that, like, we're still talking and you can still be loud and bother us, or if it's just they're waiting to see what happens. I don't know what it is, but to me, I always found that when we would slow games down but still be at the line of scrimmage, it helped everybody out. Like we were able to communicate a lot easier, and we wouldn't be like Corey's hand wouldn't be on the ball, but we'd be standing about a yard away from the ball and just communicating and being able to diagnose things. And Aaron would be calling plays, but he'd also be listening. And it's a form of keep away. It's a form of keep away where you're letting the clock tick, but you're also getting yourself in the right play. And to me, I think Jordan's far enough along that he can do a version of that. Now, is he a brainiac like Aaron was? I don't know. I've never been in a huddle with Jordan. I have no idea. You know what I mean? I have no clue. I can't even. It seems like Jordan gets himself in a lot of good situations though, and he makes a lot of good decisions. So clearly some of that brainiac rubbed off on him when, they were together for all those years. So to me, he can do it. It's just, I continue to stress it. Is everyone else around him able to operate in the same level when you're doing that type of muddle, huddle, offense because it taxes a lot of guys. You have to be able to, you're stressed out. You're not just in the huddle and you're sitting there and everyone can hear you. You got to pass things up and down the line of scrimmage and there's communication and he's got to signal to wide receivers. Aaron, that's all he did was signal to wide receivers. They would spend 30 minutes in offensive meetings going over the hand signals. Like that's how detailed it was, like every week. And these guys knew it like the back of their hand. But it takes more than just the QB to do that, right? Like it's got to be everyone on board with it.
Love it from Bryan Bulaga. John Anderson, Alex Strouf with you here on Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. We will take a look at our Island Resort and Casino best bet. I'm on a roll, baby. 2 in a row for me on the best bet hits. Hopefully we can make it 3 in a row. That's a streak. And we will take a look at our Gruber Law Offices. One call, one prediction from each of us for the game tonight between the Packers and the Bears. That's coming up next on Green Bay Game Day.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
When it comes to joint replacement, you want the best care available. The Orthopedic Surgery Center in Pewaukee is a leader in joint replacement, offering same-day surgery with advanced technology. Their team of experts specializes in knee, hip, and shoulder replacements, using the latest techniques to minimize pain and recovery time. The team at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin can get you back to what matters, living pain-free. Total joint replacement. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Hey Wisconsin, it's football season and that means it's time to break out the Bandito with El Bandito Yankee, the official tequila of game day. 100% Blue Weber agave, all natural and so smooth it's criminal. Try the award-winning Blanco, Reposado, and Yeho and the new high-proof Plata 47. Ask for El Bandito Yankee at your favorite bar or restaurant and buy it today at Woodman's and Festival Foods. And for tailgates, recipes, and more places for purchase, go to elbanditoyankee.com.
One of the best things about the holidays is going home and spending time with family and friends. One of the worst things, getting there. Holiday travel can be tough, especially driving. If you or a loved one needs help after an accident this holiday season, we're here for you. Our top-notch team of experienced professionals is available 24/7. Be safe this holiday season. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Experience the excellence of Catholic Memorial High School for yourself. Come see how students gain a competitive edge at CMH. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule a VIP tour or Student Shadow Day. Meet the inspiring teachers, welcoming students, and feel the energy of the CMH culture, where all students achieve more than they ever imagined possible. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule your visit. That's CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School in Waukesha, where you rise.
This winter, upgrade your home and your savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows, roofing, siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Get it done now and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our biggest year-end blowout. Call 262-800-4274 or head to extpros.com. Don't wait. These holiday savings melt away fast. Exterior Pros and Baths. Your home upgraded for the holidays.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
The holidays are here, and there's no better way to celebrate than cheering on Wisconsin basketball at the Kohl Center. This December, enjoy Big Ten action from men's and women's basketball as they light up the court all month long. Bring your family, bring your friends, and make game day party your holiday tradition. Get your tickets now at uwbadgers.com or by calling 1-800-GO-BADGERS. Finish the year strong with the Badgers at the Kohl Center.
Welcome back to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. I'm Alex Strouf alongside the Super Bowl champion Bryan Bulaga and the legend John Anderson, Green Bay Southwest alumnus of Sports Center and Wipeout. It's time now for our Gruber Law Office's One Call. Gruber Law Offices has a reputation for winning. Their experienced and powerful team works tirelessly to help people and families seriously injured in accidents by providing the best care and service. There's never a fee until your case is won. Gruber Law Offices has been serving the people in the state of Wisconsin for over 35 years. Gruber Law Offices, One Call. That's all. The second matchup in 13 days between these two teams, the 9-4-1 Green Bay Packers, the 10-4 Chicago Bears. It was 28-21 at Lambeau Field just 2 weeks ago. We will see what it is tonight. John Anderson, what's one thing you see happening tonight? You've been very good at these Gruber Law Offices One Calls.
Have I? I don't feel like I know anything.
No, okay. Well, sorry for giving you credit.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Won't happen again.
I don't know that I'm there. So I think this is going to, I'm going to make this with the caveat. This is, I think if it doesn't happen, they don't win, right? The idea being, and that is that I think if they can hold the Bears to 125 yards rushing or less, because I think with essentially their two top receivers out, DJ Moore, I'm sorry, but with
two of the three, Roma Dunze and Luther Burden,
With Luther, we love LB3, and Dunze out. They like to run the ball anyway. And then what we saw last time was just how slippery Caleb Williams was, right? If you talk about how's your rush integrity, people. That guy I literally, the students I was with Sunday night watching it when it happened the first time. And at one point, I just yelled, would somebody just clock that guy? Because he just kept getting somebody just wants to lay him out, So I think if they can hold that, and if it's 125, then maybe they're not holding the ball for 35 minutes again as well. So that's what I think needs to happen is that he'll throw it around a little bit, but I don't know that they're going to throw it particularly well. Be nice if he throws one to us, again, as Bears quarterbacks have always tended to do over the years. But I think that's kind of the number, given how run heavy I think they will be, right? Because 125 is still nothing that usually you would put on the whiteboard or whatever the goal board is if you're over there. But I think that's the number. So I would like to see the Packers hold the Bears to fewer than 125 rushing yards.
I agree. If they do that, I think they win the game. I'm right there with you on that. Brian, what are you thinking for your Gruber Law Office's One Call?
There could be a lot of options here, but I think today's a Matthew Golden day.
I do too. It just feels like he's poised. I'm with you.
I think he's going to find pay dirt today, and I just feel good about it. I don't know why. I mean, it just seems like the way Jason was talking to him earlier, and he said he seemed down in the locker room, and then as the week went on, spirits picked up, and he played good against Denver, and he's got some momentum going. And obviously, we don't know how much Watson's going to play, but I don't think that even matters. I think he's going to have a nice day today. So I like him finding some pay dirt for. I would imagine this is the first one, right? This would be the first one.
It would be the first one.
Good. Yeah.
$100 would pay out $675 on an anytime touchdown score for Matthew Golden today. So that is he's plus 575 for an anytime touchdown, plus 2,800 for first touchdown scorer as well. If you're really feeling confident in Matthew Golden, I'm with you on that one. Now, typically these are like bolder predictions, right? You've got to go out on a limb, and I feel like given the statistic I'm about to give you, this is going out on a limb for Mike Gruber Law.
All right, let's have it.
It's been 7 weeks. He hasn't done it in the last 7 games since Rashan Gary has had a sack or a tackle for loss.
Don't go there.
I think he has one of each today.
Oh, okay. I mean, I thought
you guys don't radiate confidence in Rashan Gary after I say that.
No, I think it's possible. I mean, if we're talking bold, I guess Golden hasn't scored in 15
that's bold.
weeks.
You're much bolder than I am.
So, like, I guess I don't know which one's more bold, but
one's bold, one's gold.
Yeah, I think kind of like John's. I think it's necessary to win the football game. Like, I think Rashan Gary has to play really well to be one of the, like, contribute a lot to win the football game. Like, I just do. I don't think he can be not like a non-impact player and they win. Like, I think he has to be, because, like, where's it coming from? That's like, it has to come from somewhere. You can't just let Caleb Williams sit back there and then he just kind of moves around as he wants, because, as John said, he's slippery. He'll get out of anything. And if you just let him sit back there, he'll eventually find a running lane or an escape lane to get out and make a play. So, like, he has to be impactful today. Like, pressures, hits, sack, whatever it may be, he's got to make an impact.
Which of these do you think doesn't add up? Because I looked this up because I hate to just pound on people, except for Lucas Van Ness. Which of these is the most out of line? That Gary is the second highest paid guy in this team, that he's the 12th highest paid edge rusher, or he's the 53rd highest paid player in the NFL?
Yes, would be my answer. Yes.
All those are out of whack to you?
Once again, I
guess
say
we haven't
yes.
done it in 7 weeks, but
once again, I say yes.
If you had 6 sacks, would you go like, all right, like, what's the number that you would go, all right, I think we're getting the production for the cost?
How about a double-digit sack season, which he still hasn't done?
10.
Yeah.
You got to get 10. 10, like as Micah said, that's where you start. You start at 10, and that's the truth of it. Like, honestly, like, if you were to ask Clay,
but that guy wrecks the curve.
Season. But I'm saying, if you were to ask Clay, did you have a good season? He didn't have 10 sacks. He would look at you and go, like, "Don't talk to me. Like, what do you? Why'd you ask me?"
Rashan Gary, by the way, earlier this week, not to pile on like John just said, I'll pile on Rashan Gary. He said earlier this week, when asked to evaluate his season, he said he's having a quote great season, end quote. He believes he is having a great season.
So here's he's certainly not going to sit here and say that he's not playing good, right? Like, sure. That's not going to happen. And we just talked about this thing earlier, like right to start the show, that there's got to be some positive self-talk here, right? Like, we have to be positive. We have to have the right mindset going into this thing, and he's like A1 on it, right? So, like, that, I'm glad that that's his thought process, right? Like, and now he's got an opportunity to show everyone, like, hey, I get Micah was the guy. I can also be one of those guys. I can contribute. I can do what I need to do. So, I'm not going to pile on a guy for saying that he thinks he's playing great, right? Like, I'm not going to do that. Because what else is he supposed to say? Honestly,
yeah, I was going to say, depends how that question's asked. You can be like, well, what do you? Yeah, because I think he's been up front before about saying that he needed to do more in past seasons and whatever. So I don't know that he's hidden from that, but it is. Yeah, you're not going to go. Yeah, I am just. Well, on occasion there'll be a guy.
I guess I don't necessarily want him to say bad, because the question was framed in relation to, okay, how do you fill the gap without Micah Parsons? And he effectively said, yeah, I'm doing what I need to do. I'm doing my job. And sure, okay, fair. But also, I think a better answer would be something to the effect of, yeah, well, he's a hard guy to replace. We all have to elevate our game. Right?
I'm just saying, big fight in the game right now.
You're right. I see that.
And punches were being thrown everywhere. So I'm sorry to interrupt.
You were okay, as they've just added an exclamation point. It was a Tank Bigsby touchdown and a Saquon Barkley 2-point conversion. Eagles lead the Commanders 29-10 with 4.5 minutes to go. And you're right. We still got shoving going on with Saquon Barkley and Bobby Wagner of the Commanders. Big time fight. You're not kidding. Wow.
Explain to me why you would go for 2 in that category, in that point.
Running up.
Why are you?
Yeah,
that's probably what this fight. That's got to be what this fight's about. That's got to be what this fight's about.
17 is already
in
a
that case,
possession game.
Woody Hayes' answer. Why'd you go for 2? Because I couldn't go for 3.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, real quick, we got to get to our Island Resort and Casino best bet. I've won 2 in a row. Let's make it 3. Island Resort and Casino, a premier resort destination, the largest north of Milwaukee, with everything you like to do in one awesome location. Visit islandresortandcasino.com to book your total experience today. Look, I mentioned the keep-away style I anticipate from this game, but I still think that over-under line, I'm going with a traditional bet today, is too low. It's 45.5. I like the over today. Over 45.5 total points in this one between the Packers and the Bears. It's that simple of a bet for me. I don't think it'll be a massive over, but I do think, you look at 28-21 a few weeks ago, I think that score could be replicated in this one, which equals 49. Easy math here on Green Bay Game Day. We will have our patented Lakeland University trivia question for our producer, the birthday boy, Will Summers, coming up next, who's also a Bears fan. You guys weren't on the last time the Packers played the Bears, so you'll enjoy this coming up next. And our final predictions and analysis ahead of Packers-Bears Part 2. That comes up next as we wrap up Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse, followed by an evening of comedy in Club 4-1. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
As the year winds down, we all pause to take stock of where we've been and where we want to go next. If finishing your degree has been on your mind, this could be your moment. At Lakeland University, education fits real life with flexible evening and online classes, credit for your work and life experiences, and multiple start dates so you don't have to wait. Earn your degree 100% online, close to home at one of our 6 Wisconsin centers, or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. This next year, invest in what matters most. You. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. Hey, it's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee. With holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust Accutrans Group to handle all my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or a festive celebration, Accutrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Hey, it's Alex Strouf. When it's game day, every detail matters. From the perfect seat on the couch to the perfect spread on the table. For over 125 years, Coops has been bringing incredible flavor to the table with 14 bold mustard flavors that turn good food great and great food amazing. Whether it's brats, burgers, or pretzels at halftime, Coops isn't your ordinary mustard. It's extraordinary mustard. So this football season, bring the bold, bring the flavor, bring Coops. Coops Mustard, spreading the love since 1897.
The holidays are the perfect time to thank the people who make your business shine. At Alpha Custom Apparel, we help you create custom gifts and branded apparel that show true appreciation. Whether it's polished polos for your sales team, cozy quarter zips for employees, or thoughtful giveaways for your best clients. We make it easy with fast turnaround, creative options, and Midwest service you can count on. This season, give gifts that build pride and strengthen relationships long after the holidays are over. Visit alphacustomapparel.com and start your holiday gifting today.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code START to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code START for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code START for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
There's a holiday gift out there that everyone loves. It's compact, tasty, and one size fits all. It's a Cousin Subs gift card. Make your life a little easier. Give your friends and family a better gift this holiday season. Purchase $30 in gift cards today at your favorite Cousin Subs location and receive a certificate for a free 7.5-inch sub. Oh man, that's the gift that keeps on giving. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Wrapping up Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strouf, John Anderson, Super Bowl champ Bryan Bulaga with you for just a few more minutes. And we, as always, are produced by our buddy Will Summers. He is a terrific producer on Green Bay Game Day and Green Bay Game Night, which I will have the pleasure of sitting in for Homer tonight on, alongside Will Summers. Two things about Will Summers. Number one, he is a Bears fan. He's from Illinois, Chicago area kid. Today is his birthday as well. Packers-Bears on his birthday. So the first matchup happened to be on my birthday. Second matchup happened to be on his birthday. How fun is that? So, like we did 13 days ago on my birthday when these two teams matched up for the first time, I'm going to ask Will the Lakeland University trivia question. Trivia brought to you by Lakeland University, Wisconsin's leader in flexible, personalized education. Whether you're just starting college, finishing your degree, or balancing work and family, Lakeland lets you earn your degree your way. Lakeland University, experience it your way. All right, Will, I actually have two questions for you today. Is that all right? Are you okay with that?
It's fine.
Okay, first question, Matt LaFleur's record versus the Chicago Bears.
In 2025, he's 1-1.
Okay, overall, though.
Not great.
Well, no, his record is great, actually. It's what exactly? You know what it is.
That's a lot too little.
Yeah, it's 12-1. Very good. Jordan Love, when he plays all four quarters against the Bears, what is his record?
That's moving the goalposts a little bit, playing all quarters.
Yeah, playing all four quarters.
It's got to be tough to play all quarters.
Well,
I believe he's 4-0.
That would be correct. Yep, yeah, you are correct. Very well done by Will.
That was me.
On the Lakeland. Yes, I know. Happy birthday on the Lakeland University trivia question. All right, we got about 3 minutes, which leaves about 90 seconds each for Bryan Bulaga and John Anderson's final thoughts ahead of Packers-Bears. We go to Missouri. We start with John Anderson. It's Packers-Bears Part 2. Winner will be in first place of the NFC North.
Yeah, well, I don't know that I have 90 seconds. I could give you the old standard. I can do it in 32. Whoever runs the ball better and whoever turns it over less will win.
That's true. I tend to agree with that analysis. Very well said by you.
That's the whole thing. No, I do think that I think that the team will be kind of out of its funk about losing Parsons. I think they will get over that rather quickly. And I think then that leaves you with a team that has played well before, that has a track record of they've been a playoff team even without him. I like that Watson's back. I'll be curious to see what they get out of him. But I do think it comes down to, can you control the Bears' running game? Because if you do, then you can kind of control the clock where that comes from.
Yeah.
And while if I was actually a betting man and I'd go to the window and bet the under, that is strictly because, casinos are built on favorites and the over. In this one, I think they go like 30-27. I think this is going to be another one of these last possession games.
I do too.
I just hope it's the Packers this time that have the ball in hand and maybe are kneeling down on it. Well, I guess technically they were last time when it happened. But I think that offensively, to your point, their rhythm's good. I think they can put up 30. I think they'll need to put up 30, and I think the defense does just enough. But I think this is a place where Hafley shows again, because there have been times when people have carved him up, and they can't have that happen tonight.
I'm right there with you, John. Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an entertaining game. I like Green Bay 31-28. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be another one of those again.
Yeah,
so
I'm right there with you.
with it.
31-28. I have the same score. I think it's down to the wire,
You guys
like John
trust
just alluded
kickers
to.
more than I do. I have 30-27 because I don't trust kickers.
Well, the Eagles certainly don't trust Jake Elliott after the day he's had, despite their what will be a big win over Washington and Philadelphia going to clinch again the NFC East. The first back-to-back winner in the NFC East in like 20 years. As Philadelphia has once again clinched the NFC East and will be in the postseason, despite what looks like a little bit of rockiness in Philly. They're not the juggernaut they were a year ago. It is Packers-Bears in about 25 minutes, 7:20 on Fox. Marquette and Creighton is coming up next on ESPN Milwaukee if you're listening there. Reminder, watch along on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. Myself, Josh DiMaggio, Pablo Iglesias going to watch the game from the studio. If you want to hang out with us on YouTube, you can do that at ESPN Madison and at ESPN Milwaukee. Myself, Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher, Gary Ellerson, Jason will be with you after the game as well on Green Bay Game Night, which will follow the final whistle. No matter what happens in this one, we're with you until at least 1 a.m. It's going to be a late night. Can't wait for it. Green Bay game night coming up after the game. Thanks for hanging with us. Thanks to Brian. Thanks to John. Thanks to Gabe. Thanks to Rob. Thanks to Jason. Thanks to Will. Thanks to Evan. Everybody affiliated. This has been Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTN.